normal week in which nothing of note happened.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
normal.
On an unrelated note, I spent the week sitting quietly in a beige room eating saltines and just came out to play this stream. So yeah. All right, everybody.
You think it's a joke?
That's
telling
pretty
the truth.
accurate. Yeah, that's not entirely wrong.
Unhinged.
Are you
He
okay?
deeply concerns all of us. This is not a bit.
We can talk. We can talk.
We were
Yeah.
So on Wednesday, the Wednesday where nothing after nothing notable happened.
Yep.
I had a Call of Cthulhu game that I DM'd on Start Playing that evening, and the more I talked about it with my players, and it's funny how dealing with the horrors of the unknown and eldritch monstrosities is somehow better and more pleasurable than all the unnotable things that happened last week.
Nothing unnotable happened.
It's nice when evil is concentrated in some sort of like ring or amulet or like destroyable or containable thing instead of, disparate in the hearts of your neighbors and family.
Yeah, so nothing notable happened.
Yeah, good week, guys. Good week. It was Travis's birthday. That was cool.
Yeah,
That was the one notable thing that happened.
Yeah, the day after all that.
All of
it was
what,
great.
Travis?
It was a great gift from everybody. Gotta say.
I hope nothing happens for my birthday.
Well, now that you put it out there.
Me knocking on wood.
Oh, when's your birthday, Jacob Todd?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, well.
Sunday.
If you have to say it's not that bad, it's that bad.
Yeah. It's fine. Hopefully nothing notable will happen, especially not the 3 days following.
No, of course not.
That's the day I moved.
That's the day you moved, Alan.
Alan.
Don't move again.
Alan, I can't believe you've done this.
So, we'll skip on to some more notable announcements. First of which, I think I said this last week, but now it's official. And I now have only 2 Patreon tiers. The support tier, which only costs $1, and it's just, a nice little gift for support for what I do. And then the $4 tier, which you get access to everything. You get access to all the D&D content I make, the Sharn Nights extra content that I make, fun little, Spike's magical motorcycle is on my Patreon, some future discounts on my DM's Guild products, all sorts of fun stuff. And you get all of it for only $4.
Very polite.
I'll give that like a
Very
9.
good.
A 9, thank you. I worked really hard on that. Along with some fun D&D content, we're also doing I don't want to call it a series, because that makes it sound like a huge deal. After our Christmas one-shot last month, we did a little fun afterward Q&A with our friend Xavier to talk about his prep and how he ran the one-shot, what he thought, and how terribly awry it all went. And it was just a lot of fun to be able to sit there and ask kinds of questions like that, so we're going to do that on a more regular basis with this group. Called Sharn Nights After Dark. I voted for the morning after, but
That one was good.
So we're gonna be doing a new little series called Sharn Nights After Dark every other week. That will be available on my Patreon. After a session, we're just gonna sit and chat with a few of them, and we'll either have a topic for the week. We might take questions from you guys if you have any. We might just have some questions for ourselves. It might just be interviewing a person's character or something. We're just gonna have some fun with it, and just that way people can expand on some of the amazing stuff they've thought about their characters, but don't really get the chance to share it on stream. So if you have any questions regarding the campaign, regarding tabletop RPGs, regarding their characters, whatever else, you can whisper to one of us on Twitch. You can highlight your message in the chat. You can subscribe to my Patreon and message me through Patreon. And we can maybe answer your questions. Of course, you can only see the answers if you subscribe to my Patreon, so make sure you do that. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We reached the first Twitch subscribers goal. Now we're on to the second one. We're only 5 subscriber points away, which means we either need 5 new subscribers, or some of you should upgrade to the tier 3 subscriber level, and it'll give me some more subscriber points, and we can unlock another emote slot. You can unlock Creamer 2, which is a nice laughing Creamer. He's very cute. And if anyone wants to show off their little Creamer emotes like I'm about to do, where is he? Where's that little guy? There he is. Yeah, he's a little cutie patootie.
And Logan, who is the talented artist who did those emotes?
Let me look up their Twitter handle on my Twitch page. You can find all of their information on my Twitch panels, Twitch channel panels. That's the wrong tab I just clicked on. Yes. Well, my computer stopped being slow because I'm doing a million things on here right now. Yes, so you can find them on Twitter at Slavushka. They do all sorts of Twitch badges and emotes and sort of this like cartoony style. It's amazing. Slavushka. Oh, yes. That's so hard to type. Holy cow. Yeah, at Slavushka on Twitter. So, and you also see that everyone subscribers have some new badges. If you look at Austin's little badges, he has a little 2-month wooden D20 badge. I have a little 3-month copper one. I think it's copper. And the longer you're subscribed, the higher quality material your D20 is made out of. It's really fun. So, yes, 5 more subscribers and you'll get another Creamer emote. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for you to get to the last Creamer emote. It's really cute. He's like crying and has like a little quivering lip and he's holding a cup of coffee. It's very cute. Probably one of my favorites. So, I think that is the last of my announcements. Xavier, do you want to plug the little thing that we're doing this upcoming week or the end of this week?
This Saturday, Logan, along with a bunch of other familiar streamers, we will be getting together to do a raft roleplay. With this, basically, we're going to be pretending to be survivors of a crashed cruise ship. All trying to survive each other's personalities as well as shark attacks while playing the game Raft. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be more, like I said, it's gonna be role play heavy. So we're all gonna be like getting into character and doing a bunch of silly stuff. It's gonna be a really good time. But yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and that's this Saturday at 8 p.m. EST.
EST, sweet stuff. I think that's it. Does anyone, Alan or Austin, want to plug anything?
Nope.
Nice.
That's it.
Maybe later.
Alan is almost on his test stream 40. We gotta celebrate the big 4-0.
Yeah.
Oh man, maybe we'll celebrate.
We'll do something big.
You can celebrate the big test stream 40 with an actual stream.
I'm waiting for the day where he forgets to put test stream in the title, and it's just like all downhill.
He's gonna hit it big on that day. He's gonna have 1,000 viewers. He's gonna get partner like that. It's gonna be immediate.
Yeah, as soon as we get out of the beta, you know.
The game is so good in the beta. All right. Carson stepped away, so
Rip.
Shoutouts to Carson. He's going to be building a PC in like a couple years, I think. Yeah, in a couple years, he's going to start building his PC.
Hey, we weren't talking about you.
Very
About me?
inconspicuous.
Yeah, no, we weren't.
Well, why would you say such a
On that note, something we forgot to do last week, is Cat Jam gone?
Yeah, apparently.
It
It
shouldn't
wasn't
be.
there last time.
Rip Cat Jam.
Did that work? That worked. It's coming up on mine.
It's not coming up on my screen.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sad.
So, we forgot to do this last time, and I want to go ahead and do it now, is the little roleplay warm-up. So, I think the last person to go was Carson. And so far, Carson and Jacob have done it. So, Carson, if you want to choose the next person to do the RP warm-up.
I'm gonna say Xavier.
Ooh. The person playing a character with no background, no past. What kind of a past? So Xavier, if you roll a D4 for me.
I was purposely not making eye contact.
Oh, it's like in school.
Me too.
I rolled a 2.
A 2.
Staring at the bottom of my screen.
I truly don't know if you'll be able to answer this one, Xavier. But what is Spike's love language? Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one.
Give me one moment. Let me pull up the 5 love. There's 5 of them, right? We're off to a great start. Okay. Words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, quality time, physical touch. Ooh. All right. Well, you see, my love language, personally, and it's one that, you wouldn't think that a Warforged, born to kill and all that jazz would really care about. But Spike really loves some quality time. All right, Spike loves it. If you just sit down, cuddle up, get a little blanket together, maybe read The Good, Bad, and Ugly. Maybe. We're not saying you got to, but in a perfect world, The Good and Bad and the Ugly would be there on the date. Just saying. However, quality time is a big one for Spike's little mechanical heart.
That's so cute. I love it. Gotta mark y'all on my list. That's a good one. Okay, so with that in mind, let's play ball.
Literally.
If is there anyone who wants to do a recap, or I can do it?
I believe in you.
You believe in me? Thanks.
Yep.
So, last time, all of you reconvened in the courtyard of Moorgrave University to talk about what you found in Klein Clovehaller's office, what you discovered after following him to Little Plains, where he met with someone very high-ranking in the Boromar clan, and where to go from there. You sat around and eventually made a plan to go visit some of the dragon-marked houses, give them some warnings, and gather a bit of information, getting caught in a storm along the way. Eventually, you return back to Moorgrave University's campus to get a coffee in the student union, to warm yourselves up, and Varian had to go have a meeting with his academic advisor. It went A-way. He had the meeting.
It occurred.
It sure did happen. And then you all went to go find Kina Button. After acquiring her address from some friends in the Arm that you had known, likely from the Dragonmarked houses, you ended up in the Stoneyard district in lower North Edge Plateau. The Stoneyard district is mostly a shifter district, home to the heritage of people who have essentially lycanthropy in their blood. Some are part bears, wolves, cats, dogs, anything. And they have physical features to show that as well. After arriving in the Stoneyard district, you landed near a bridge that cuts through the district that has been repurposed for a makeshift Project field. A sport made by and played by shifters. Wendelin, being a townie in Sharn, recognizes the sport and is quite a big fan herself. She took it upon herself to teach some of her party members how to play Project, while at the same time incurring the rage of the local Project team, led by a bear shifter named Bear. Of course, it did not go well having some strangers and non-shifters playing on their field, and Oleg, being ever the antagonist, asked how they would be allowed to play on the field. And of course, you have to play for the right to play. So, with a 10-minute preparation window, the investigators who are there have the time to get ready for their very first and maybe their last Rajak match with a semi-professional shifter team. After we were kind of wrapping up, Wendelin had said she sends her hawk friend Pickle to go inform Cornelius and Donovan that they will need their help back where they landed the Sky Coach. So quickly, they regroup, now with like 2 minutes left to finish preparing for this match. So, I leave it to you guys to do any kind of stuff.
Okay, Wendlin,
Question.
how the fuck do we play this fucking game? Pajak? Pojak? Bojack? I wasn't even paying attention when you were
hey.
talking about it.
Give the sport some respect. Rajak.
Project. Alright. How do we play?
Basically, it's like sort of like capture the flag and parkour.
Okay.
There's a ball, right? A ball on the other end of the field, and we have to retrieve it and bring it back while defending ours.
And no magic allowed, right?
Right, yeah, just, you know,
dear.
natural skill.
So, yeah, when you
natural-
say magic, you mean like I can't cast a spell, right?
Right,
It's no
Can-
magic or magical abilities.
okay. Also, question.
Mm-hmm.
Would Pickle be allowed to be our 7th player?
The bird.
Or alternatively, can we get like a real player that's maybe good?
Yeah, one of the other team had said that they would find you another local player to fill in as your 7th.
Technically, we also have Squinch.
Do you want to squinch?
We also
Yeah,
have
but they don't know about Squinch, so maybe we can just sneakily.
That is a good point. You make a good point.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? Is that okay? Is that allowed?
What? Bring in another person? Yeah, sure.
And you can like beat the other team up, right?
I mean, they use claws.
Yeah,
They're
you can.
changelings.
Yeah.
Well, how?
Okay, cool.
Wait, how does Squinch get his invisibility?
It's an innate ability.
It's just
It just
what he
happens.
does.
Okay.
So
I think the assumption would be
if
that
I use telekinesis, are they gonna be mad at me?
Probably.
Can I do it anyway? I mean, here's the thing. They can turn into a wolf. I can move things with my thoughts. Just because genetics didn't do them any favors doesn't mean I should hold back.
I don't feel like messing with a guy named Bear is probably a smart idea.
Is there anybody on the other team that is acting as like a ref or something?
Not on the other team, but they'll probably pull like a local person to come fill in.
Okay.
Can I take a moment and scan the enemy's weaknesses? I want to look for anyone that got like a bum knee or maybe
That's
someone
a good idea.
stubbed
I
their
would like to
toe.
join in that effort.
I like that. Go ahead, make an insight check for me.
Right now.
May I join in the effort?
Sure.
Buddy, that's a 17.
That's only a 15 for me.
Okay. So let's see here. There we go. So looking, we'll kind of start, the ones that clearly catch your eye. Bear. You watch Bear for a moment or two, and his strength is literally his strength. His size, his mass, and muscle is kind of his, like, what he does. But he's not necessarily the most quick on his feet. He's quick in that he can move fast in, like, one direction, but he's not going to be the, the parkour jumping over everything. He's not going to be the spider monkey of the team. On the flip side, there are two shifters who seem to have, like, wolf and dog characteristics. So you imagine that they're pretty fast, fairly strong, and tend to gang up together. But because they're sort of twins, sort of siblings, that could maybe be a weakness in and of itself. Take out one, you might be able to stop the other, just because they can't work in tandem like they do. There is one shifter who looks literally like a mouse or part mouse. Yes, that's the one to talk to you. Smaller in stature, has claws and some teeth, but clearly not a fighter by any degree. So you imagine someone strong could probably apprehend them unless they could slip through grass pretty well. Let me see here. Similar to the mousy one, there is also a, like, feline-looking one, seeming to have some characteristics of, like, sort of an alley cat, almost. Let me see here. Yeah. So, even though feline in nature, they're going to be quick, a little bit more clever, difficult to pin down, but also because with only the 17, it's hard to get a read on the cat, the feline one, the Swift Strider. They are just kind of moseying about, seem very confident. You see one shifter that looks like a boar and very similar to Bear. Strong, hard-headed, quick, but not necessarily dexterous. And then finally, you see one shifter that seems to have, like, almost like deer or elk or moose type features. They have some antlers growing from their head, kind of furry at the wrists and ankles. But you do notice that quite literally they're walking with a limp. Kind of hobbling a little bit, so still sort of large, tall, but limping.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
All that they said was that all that they said was you couldn't use any weapons or magic, right?
Yeah, no weapons besides magical, or no weapons besides natural weapons, and no magic or magical abilities.
Okay. What about magic items? Is that allowed?
And we'll say Wendelin transfers you this information. So there's no limit on the contact. What natural weapons are allowed. People are nearby to provide healing, but spells and similar magics are not allowed. So if you are, like, under the influence of a magical item, that would be okay. But if you're using it to, obviously cast spells or do something with it, then you would end up being disqualified.
Okay. Interesting. So, like, for example, if I were to magically tinker and have a item that emits just like the skunk smell, or an item that flashes light, or an item that yells at the top of its lungs, would those things be allowed, considering they are not doing any harm to them?
I mean, it is still a spell or magical thing, but if you are able to hide it, which would be difficult to do unless it's just like inside a bag or something, then you can maybe get away with it.
Okay, never mind then.
So
He's not very stealthy. He's not going to do that.
would I be able to use any of my key related stuff?
Likely not your shadow arts or anything like that, but the simple like step of the wind, stunning strike, things like that you could do.
Okay. Cool. And also, so I think we established last session, I may be wrong, but I'm familiar with this team.
You're at least familiar with a bear. The
Okay.
team that's with him is just more of a semi-pro local team, but Bear used to once like play in the big arenas elsewhere in Sharn.
Okay. So what do I know about how Bear plays, and also I guess, conventional Hrajak tactics of how a team orients itself? Like, is there an offense and a defense? Does the whole team go out and try and fetch the ball?
So
Like,
one of the things that I misspoke on last time is that there is a goal at either end, but the idol that you carry does not stay in the goal. The idol is carried by each team, and there's essentially a team carrier who carries that thing around, and it's the goal of the opposition to take it from them and get it and your idol back to your own goal. So it's not a stationary target. Yeah, that was me misreading last week. So there
Gwendolyn remembers the wrong sport.
Gwendolyn remembers. So there is a carrier who carries the idol and is sort of floating around waiting for the other idol to get grabbed. It is usually tossed or handed to them, and they bolt back. This is usually sort of a faster person, and it's also usually an observant person. Someone who can keep an eye on the field at all times and watch the opponent's idol moving around. Sort of like the Seeker in Quidditch, watching the snitch fly around the battlefield. That's kind of what the carrier does.
So the so the carrier is the one that's trying to grab the idol as well?
The carrier has their own team's idol, and they need to at some point get the other team's idol and bring those both back to their goal.
Yeah, so the rest of the team is trying to either protect the idol around the person or get the other person's idol.
one. Yeah.
And get it to the carrier.
Yeah, and usually the carrier themselves don't do any of the skirmishing to get the other idol. They wait for someone else to get it, and then it gets thrown to them, and then they go.
Got it.
As a general point, what's everybody's dexterity and strength?
Strength is bad. Dexterity is okay.
What does okay mean?
+2.
Okay.
My strength is +0. My dexterity is +3.
Okay.
-3 +1.
So you're gonna be a defensive, like.
+5 +1. All right. Alan.
Probably best.
We can't hear you. You're talking into nothing.
My strength is +1 and my dex is +2.
Cool. So we have a whole lot of average, and then we have Alan and Austin.
Now, question, Logan, you said we can't use magical equipment and things of that such, but can we use rope?
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what I need to hear. Thank you so much.
As long as like you don't use it to like strangle or something, but if you can get creative.
Now, what if you strangle a leg? Maybe one that's not as strong as another one.
That could be okay.
Oh, good. Good.
And Alan, to answer your question about Bear, he's most definitely a charger. Usually once the bout starts, he bum rushes or tries to bum rush the opposing carrier, and whoever gets in the way, he like targets them instead and just like and he's sort of the powerhouse.
How's his stamina?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how about we
He's the
give?
problem, got it.
Here's the idea. How about we give Wendelin our idol? Okay.
Okay.
Wendelin's just gonna spider monkey the whole time, get out of the way, and we try to enable Austin, and just get
Austin.
him. Austin. Yep, the random name Austin. Yep, Cornelius, to just get him to get away and get the idol as quickly as we can.
I was gonna put my name in to try to grab the other idol.
Sure. We could also just rush. All of us could just rush the other idol.
Here's what I'm thinking. What if we kind of split and some of us try to protect and help Wendelin do her spider monkey thing, and then the other three of us go try and grab the idol. Because yeah, magic's not allowed, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna do it just in a way that I don't get caught.
Okay. Well,
Because I don't think these meatheads are gonna be able to notice.
good to hear that our press is thinking this way.
What if I had a spell that could mimic shifter abilities?
I mean, that sounds. I mean,
As
I don't
in,
know.
alter self lets you create natural weapons.
Good work.
that sounds much. That sounds pretty good. I could also give you well, never mind.
One thing about that feline one, I can't get a good read on it, but I do know something about cats. Cats don't like water, and I pull up my water skin.
Okay. Well,
Now what's to say? Oh, accidentally
There
my
you
water skin burst all on him, and now he's wet, and you don't want to play no more.
I don't feel like it. We should get this seven.
We're making a lot of assumptions here, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, are you trying to Spike? Are you trying to stay back, or are you trying to go forward?
I'm gonna stay back. I'm gonna play some defense.
All right. Well, let's get our seventh person in here, and see what they have to think. Because we have roughly, who's gonna do what, right? We have our couple people. We have Varian staying back. We have Wendelin. We have Spike. Wait, what did you say, Varian?
Oh, just absolutely.
Okay, sounds good.
Those men out there will tear me to pieces.
Okay, well, we'll have you in the front then. That sounds
A violent scene, unpleasant for all to bear.
What does the
Flesh.
seventh person say, I suppose?
So this mousy person from the other team brings up a shifter who has sort of blonde, like, hair, kind of curly or thicker going down the back of their head, floppy canine ears on either side, some sharp teeth.
Oh.
And the mousy player on the other team says, all right, here is your impromptu team member. His name is Wolf. And he's here to fill in. And Wolf, and you start looking at him, has some golden retriever characteristics physically about him. And he immediately starts shaking all of your hands. He says, "Woo! Yeah, you guys, I'm so pumped for this. This is gonna be so much fun. It's not very often we get some non-shifters playing here, and I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, my name's Wolf, and Spy Gad, very nice to meet you guys. Yeah, woo! Yeah."
Him
Pretzels
getting
with
pumped
peanut
gets
butter
me pumped,
from
like
Jack.
as pumped.
Yeah.
And I just start doing like, whatever he's doing. Like, if he's jumping around, I'm jumping around.
That's awesome. So what do you do? Do you defend or do you attack? What is your specialty?
He says, I mostly just do this on the weekends, more of a rec player. I'm in a local club, in a rec club, but I kind of do whatever we need, so whatever you need me to do, I can do it, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we got a crowd today. It looks like people are really looking forward to this. And you see that word has gotten around about Bear and his team playing some non-shifters, which
Oh no.
apparently doesn't happen very often. And so within the towers that frame this field on either side, there are people looking out of windows, standing out on balconies, people looking out their front doors. Like, you kind of just have some onlookers. Then you start hearing some shouting, and you look over, and on this front stoops of one of the tenements, you see a group of shifters placing bets and yelling at each other.
Oh no.
Okay, well, this is not going to go well for anybody. All right,
If-
well,
So, if we lose, we aren't able to step foot on this field again, right?
I believe
That's the
bet you
assumption.
made.
Yep.
And
If
and
Wolf is playing with us, does that affect him too?
ooh.
His ears like soften down, and he turns and like runs over to the other team and like cowers before Bear, and then he perks up and runs back and says, "No, I'm good."
Oh, okay.
Okay.
On the time that he's away, before this whole thing, I would like to have just made a object that I'll tuck into my pants that just smells atrocious.
How long does it take you to make such an object?
Imbue a tiny object of your choice, up to 6 seconds, 25. You can affect up to. It doesn't tell me. Magic tinkering is the thing I'm trying to do.
We'll look it up. But you're gonna put something that smells bad in your pants.
Yep.
time worn strategy. Time worn, time honored.
I'm gonna grab Wolf by the shoulders. I'm gonna look him in the eye and I say, "You see that cat fellow over there? I want you to stay on him. That is your man. You do everything in your power to make sure he does not score. All right?"
He kind of like raises his hair up a little bit. You got it.
Okay.
Good.
Can I just like kind of stretching like walk behind one of the obstacles and just go, I actually have some shifted blood on my mother's side, and cast alter self.
Oh, you're so wrong.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that.
Well,
Joke's not bad.
I make my. I'm gonna combine. I'm gonna tweak this spell a little bit. It's not in any meaningful way. I'm gonna make myself have kind of like porcupine features, and I'm gonna grow a bunch of spines that just zoop through my jacket.
I thought you were gonna be like a puffer fish or something.
No, that would be ridiculous. And just come back out like, oh, that feels good to shift. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Hey, Marion, remember that conversation about lying?
No, I don't remember.
Say less.
Oh,
They were
man.
you like I bought it, and then I immediately didn't.
Great job, Aaron. I love that you were starting to use your deception skills a lot more ever since you started hanging out with us.
Yikes.
Yep.
Logan,
It's an
Oh.
action. I found it.
it's an action. That's
Yeah.
6 seconds. Can I
Yeah.
do 3 of them then?
Oh, like just shoving.
Hey, they smell like shit. Put them in your pants.
Mouths.
I have
Yeah,
a
like,
max. I have a max of 4 at a time.
trousers.
I see
Yeah.
that Oleg is using the
Yeah.
Naruto tuning exam strat.
All right, cool. I'm gonna have 4 essentially stink bombs in my pants.
In your pants, just
In
you.
my pants. Yeah.
Oh,
I imagine
That's
that
gonna
all of you are
backfire
now.
so hard.
You are all convinced that Oleg shit
Actually-
himself right
Actually,
before.
alternatively, I'm gonna stick them into Windlin's pants.
What are you doing?
I was about to say Oleg's
Now
just gonna
that's
go in and
actually more
kamikaze
believable.
the team with stink bombs, and we're gonna do the
I'm
rest.
gonna-
One says, "Oleg, stay away from me." What?
No. Here's the deal. They come after you.
Here's the deal.
They come after you. They smell this. They say no, and they move away. All right. I'm gonna
Wow.
have two in yours and 2 in mine. All right.
Why do I need 2?
Well, you know, it's
Well,
all right.
yeah.
I'll give you one. I'll give you me. Well, it's just it makes it stronger.
This is gonna go so poorly.
I love this. I love this so
Yeah.
much. Can I prepare a lasso?
Yep.
Oh,
Um. Also, actually, while we're at it, I would also like to tinker a little bit to get the rope to be hidden a little bit in the field, just so that the first person to charge at us, finds a bit of a surprise.
surprise!
Wait, what?
Survive.
You're doing? Wait, what now?
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is attach the rope to my ballista, to my little eyeball.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm concerned.
Okay.
No
Well,
big deal.
at this point, 10 minutes have gone past. Bear out on the field starts yelling, "Come on, let's go, let's get this over with, yeah!" And
I wanna grab Wolf and hype up the crowd with him.
oh god, it's so effective. Like his energy is just so pure and happy, and so is yours. And so everyone's just. It takes a little while because they're all like, fucking non-shifters. What the fuck are they doing here? They're gonna get eaten alive, literally. But eventually they start like, okay, yeah, this will be fun. Yeah. A few people like place a bet for funsies on you guys. They're like, sure. What if they win? But eventually, though, you take the field. So this will be more of a skill challenge, amorphous cinematic kind of thing, as opposed to straight up combat. You will need a certain number of successful skill checks, to successfully win. Bear just says first one to score a point, and done.
Oh boy.
Cool.
Sort of a sudden death, like get it and
Okay.
go. So
I do have portent rolls. This would
nice.
be a real stupid place to use them, but why not?
Hey,
I'm gonna use all my
in the
flashes
words,
of
in the
genius.
words of Liam O'Brien, it's just a game.
Yeah.
Do what
We
you want.
ball, we ball.
You take the field, and this field, it is an urban playground. You see that the towers on either side, they have doors and windows, and awnings and balconies going all the way up the towers that you can make use of. There are poles that stick out that lanterns hang from, banners, signs, whatever else that you can make use of. There are some gaps between the towers that just go into a drop. So there is potential to go off the bridge and fall down. You're in the lower portions of Sharn, so the fall isn't as far. Still pretty far, and there's no telling where you'll end up.
It is daytime, correct?
It's like 6 p.m., so it's still daytime, sun is setting. And since it's like spring, we'll say it's still going to be daylight for another 2 hours or so. And then the field itself is littered with dumpsters and skycoach scrap and piles of rubble and trash. And so there are generally just obstacles and hazards placed everywhere as well. I'm going to get one last...
Tetanus shots.
Yeah, so Logan, that's what I was talking about, was if there was an obstacle, I would like to see if I can attach the rope to an obstacle and try to like hide it enough so that the first person to charge at us would kind of trip over the rope.
They would absolutely see you doing that
Okay,
and
never
setting up
mind.
that trap
Never
Activity
already.
vibes you want to throw out while you're at it?
Yeah, never mind.
Betty or
I
two?
know you said Bear is definitely gonna charge us first.
Yeah.
I want to like run. First of all, I want to make sure I take my suit jacket off, like put that down to the side and just wear my undershirt and get ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to like be the one to go up and kind of like collide forces with Bear.
Oof.
But I would like to like run into him, but instead of using strength, use my telekinesis to push him over like I can with telekinesis, and just kind of like feign that I'm using my strength to do it.
Hmm.
Okay. So, who is going to be carrying your team's idol? Who did you say?
Wendell.
Alrighty. And who is going to be a defensive player?
Spike,
Yo. I got
Varian,
you.
and
Me.
let's have the extra person do it too, right? Or you, yeah.
Gonna make Wolf do it?
Or did you say, Jacob, that you were going to?
I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Then
I'm
Wolf will
gonna
be
try
with
to
us. Wolf will
yeah.
be with attacking then.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
and so then
Me and
Oleg, Cornelius, and
I have a bad idea.
Wolf. Looking forward to it. So you take the field, looking at the obstacles before you, looking at the team on the other side, and then, of course, there's a bit of fanfare. Bears bellowing out, telling people what's going on. They pull in one of the local rec referees to participate, just to keep track of points and disqualifications and whatever else. So, and finally, the match begins. We're not going to do initiative, but essentially, I will present you with some kind of challenge, and then the appropriate people will then offer up some kind of skill check or something to try and combat that challenge. And like I said, you need a certain number of successful skill checks to do so, or to win. And a certain number of failures means you lose it. You lose. So, first up, as the match begins, of course you see the speedy players, shifters, start to vault over obstacles, jump on walls, and run forward, and your team starts doing the same. But of course, as you expected, Bear starts running across the field, directly trying to track Wendell and hopping around. And Donovan, you are going to be the one to stop Bear.
Yes. And I roll like a spell attack contesting his athletics.
And you're going to try to hide it, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make either deception or performance at disadvantage, since you have a crowd of people watching.
With pleasure. So I rolled an 18 and a 16, so that's gonna be a 24.
24.
Ooh.
That's enough. They got a 21. So, you effectively make contact with Bear and time your spell just right. So go ahead and make your spell attack, and then he makes his contested roll.
Okay.
Bear's gonna. Oh. All right.
Yes, Carson?
Nice.
Bear's gonna roll a 6.
Bear rolls a 6. So, Donovan, what'd you get?
Nat 20.
So, what would the total have been? 25?
It's like a spell attack, so with proficiency, so that's a 28.
Because he would have gotten 24. He rolled a natural 19. But he rolled a 6. So you make contact with Bear, and you see that all the shifters have taken on their shifted form. He is much more bear-like, hair sprouted from his arms. Claws have protruded more, starting to snarl a bit. And the moment you make contact with him, how do you make contact as you're preparing for this?
I toss my suit jacket to the side and roll up my dress shirt sleeves, kind of undo my tie a little bit, and just kind of stretch. And as soon as he runs towards me, I just take my cigarette, just throw it to the side, crack my knuckles, give everybody a wink, and I just run forward and just like linebacker tackle him. And but before I make contact, I just kind of kick in my telekinesis and just boosh and knock him down.
Everyone throughout the length of the towers in Stoneyard, all the shifters looking out their windows and balconies, just a unison ooh, and it echoes through the towers.
And I knock him down and say, "Hey, do me a favor. Stay down, kid."
He starts yelling and getting back to his feet.
What is this, the Soviet Union?
So, you see that Wolf is trying to get to the feline person on the other team. Their carrier is actually the mousy person that you've been speaking to. This sort of 4.5 foot tall, shriveled up kind of young person. Now that they've all shifted, whiskers, kind of been a nose, little fur around their mouths. Yes, Austin.
Since we spoke a couple of times to the mousy person, do they seem particularly smart?
Yes.
Okay.
At least quick and observant, a little bit clever.
Okay.
So, so you see that their carrier is keeping a bit of distance from everyone, quickly moving around the field in kind of quick, short bursts, and just eyes watching everyone's movements. Wendelin, what are you doing as your carrier position?
I'm just trying to stick with my defenders. I'm moving around the obstacles, but I'm moving on a level that there are still obstacles above and below me, so I still have other avenues in case anything happens.
Can I inspire Wendelin?
Yeah, you can. Because inspire.
After I do that, after I do my thing, I'll inspire Wendelin.
Nice.
Thanks, bud.
Take that D8.
Amazing. So, Oleg, as you are in your more offensive position, moving forward, trying to get close to their carriers while fighting back their defenses, the boar shifter, whose tusks have grown out some, nose become a bit more snout-ish, and just burly of chest. As you sort of get engaged with them, they reach out and try to grapple you and hold you still to keep you from pursuing any further.
Okay.
So I will need you to make some form of athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay.
You notice as this person is grabbing you, leaning down to you, they take in a big inhale through their piggy snout, and then you just hear a so they will make their check at disadvantage.
Is it acrobatics?
Yeah.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics, yep, I hear you.
I love that.
I'm gonna give myself
Flash of genius.
a flash of genius.
Amazing.
So that'll be 13.
13. So they rolled 5 plus their modifiers. So this boar person does not grab hold as they try to grab you. They gag at your smell, and you're able to break past and break away from their harrying against you. Now, as this happens, and this boar person is distracted with Oleg, Cornelius, you notice an opening where their carrier is not closely defended.
and I'm gonna go for it.
How do you do it? How do you
So
wanna
like
do
as I
this?
see the opening, I kind of like it's like it's like quick eyes because observant and shit.
Mhm.
It's like quick eyes, like seeing everyone else away, and it's just like, all right. And I'm just gonna start like basically like cut the like any little opening that I have and go straight for them. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna use Dreaming Visage on the mouse. I need the mouse to make a contested where is it? Intelligence check.
Oh boy.
Oh, I accidentally closed my character sheet. Hang on. I was trying to pull up my character sheet, and instead I accidentally closed it. There we go.
Does a 15 do it?
That's a 21. It's 11 plus 10. So his speed is halved, and he is considered charmed of me. And so, like, as I go up to him, I just go, if you wouldn't mind, I think I'm going to take that. And I just, as he is just kind of like, and I'm just going to book ass back.
Okay, start booking ass back. So, as you start booking ass back, Spike and Varian, as you are trying to follow Wendelin around the battlefield a little bit, kind of keeping a berth of her and away from the battlefield, you cross in front of some of these sky coach debris, and as you do, the two wolf shifter twins leap from behind and go each one at Varian and Spike, mostly to try and surprise you, but are trying to push past you to get back to Wendelin. So Spike and Varian, what would you like to do to stop them?
Spike, you want to go first? Or I have something I want to do if you want to think through your thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I thought this through before. There's a reason I chose Porcupine. I'm just gonna go. The things I do for my friends. And just forward at this dude. Spines first.
So that's not. I don't even. I'm just gonna have this person make a dex save, and we'll see. Because there's not really on your end. That's not really an attack roll. That's not really a thing. You just
Sacrifice on altar self that you use it as an attack, but I'm fully just like
like a pufferfish. Just like
yeah.
Amazing.
so they
This
will
is
make.
my only defense.
So they will make a check to see.
He's gotta make an E-boy saving throw.
Oh, so we'll say this, Varian. What's your spell save DC?
Spell save? It is 16.
With a 17, this wolf shifter spins past you and is now bolting straight toward Wendelin. Spike, you look and see one wolf running toward Wendelin and the other one like lob straight at you.
No, heck no. All right. Well, I get my lasso. As I see the one that's running away, I want to take my lasso, pull it right at it, and try to lasso it and pull him back. Yank him down.
So make a dexterity attack roll. So dexterity and proficiency bonus.
Okay. $18.
That is going to do it. So, Wendelin, you see this wolf shifter running straight at you. They get probably within a couple feet of you, pawed, clawed hands and teeth, like just ready to lash out. And then you see them just go like, woof, and get pulled back as the lasso cuts them in the gut and they're thrown back. And then, Wendelin, you look up to see Cornelius jumping across dumpster, idol in hand, and hand it back to you, Wendelin.
Hey.
I think
Snatch.
now is time to win this and get the fuck out of here.
And swing back.
So, Wendelin, you swing back to see that you watch as Feline Shifter, being chased by Wolf, who cannot climb things as well, swing from signpost to signpost and then run across a lantern post and fly through the air toward you, Wendelin. So, Wendelin, how would you like to try and avoid this attack?
I want to find a bar to swing on and shift my momentum and slingshot myself towards the feline.
So
Feet first.
So essentially, we'll make contested acrobatics checks. So make an acrobatics
Alright.
check for me. And because you have idols with you, you can put them in pouches and stuff, but they're still going to kind of be big and weigh you down.
Okay.
You'll have to make this acrobatics check with disadvantage.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
The feline shifter is gonna roll an 8.
Okay.
Bet.
Yes.
Boom.
Okay. So I rolled disadvantage, right? Okay.
Yes.
So and acrobatics 19.
You do it. You grab a nearby lamppost, swing around, using the momentum, sling feet first back, contact with this feline shifter's gut, falls to the ground. You land to the ground, and you have a
And-
straight, clear path to the goal.
Go, Winley, go!
I book it.
You book it with the speed of a monk and make it to your goal.
Can I say? I forget, can I on the way out, leaving the feline? Can I do like the cool guys don't look at explosions thing, but like with the stink bomb?
Yes, of course. And you hear like, what? And so you go to the other goal. People, it is dead silent of the people all the way up in the towers. There's no cheering. There's no oohs and ahs. It is just dead silent. And Bear, who is being carried by Donovan for most of the match, gets up. Bear like runs over to you, Wendelin, huffing and puffing, gradually changes back into like his normal sort of just half hairy form.
Mm-hmm.
He leans down. All right, I'll give it to you this time, but I want a rematch.
For sure.
You can use the field to practice for now. And he holds out a
Hear Varian say, "What happened? Did we win?"
curled up as a porcupine.
yeah. Like my coat has gotten caught on my spine, so I try to.
He's like stuck on his back, you know, like a turtle.
He stands up. He has a bunch of trash and stuff
Yeah.
stuck to him. And so we now like panned back over across the field. Spike undoing his lasso from this one person. You have Cornelius, who's being followed around by this mouse shifter, and just like,
Oh, I
Hey,
drop it as
hey.
soon as we win. Just like, ding, you're good.
and the mouse immediately starts looking around like, okay, we got. And you notice, you watch them approach their other teammates and being like, I think they used magic, but I'm not sure that there was something about that one man. He was really, but they're so quiet spoken that no one pays attention to a word that they say. You almost feel a little bad. You're like, oh.
I'll buy that kid a drink at some point, I'm sure.
Um,
He won't know why. Just you know.
But you all kind of, you know, you turn off your little like stink things, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I let them throw across the field. Yeah, you lost. Sorry.
Can I go up the wolf?
Do what?
Can I go up the wolf?
Yeah. He says, "Man, I'm so sorry. I really tried. I just can't climb as well as she can. She's so awesome. I need to get better about that, you know?"
I'm just so happy.
It's all right. It's all right. You were a good boy today.
Oh my god, that's so nice. I'm so like, and you know what? And he like reaches out and grabs your arm. He looks into your Warforged eye and says, "You're a good boy too."
Oh,
Hell yeah.
A tear rolls down. I start short circuiting. I'm like,
Oh man.
And then eventually Bear comes up to you, Donovan, and grabs your arm, which of course is not that muscular, and he says, "You pack a lot of punch for someone your size."
Yeah, thanks. I work out.
You got to teach me your regiment sometime. That's good.
I don't think you can handle it.
Is it a diet thing? Or, are you intermittent fasting? Is that it?
No, that's a lie. Don't talk about keto either. That doesn't work either. That's a lie. No, it's a fad diet.
Oh yeah, arcane keto.
But maybe someday come down to the Sharn Inquisitive. I'll teach you this thing or two, kid.
Kid.
He just kind of lets it slide. And then you look over to the gambling circle, and you can see that a lot of people just lost a lot of money.
yeah.
And that the few people who bet on you just got a lot of money. And so random shifter strangers are coming up to you, shaking all of your hands, being like, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can finally start my independent business I've been wanting to start. Thank God I can finally quit my day job. This is amazing. We can finally move up to like upper city place."
I'm gonna finally start my Patreon.
Everybody goes,
It's like 10 times that people be like, "I'm ruined."
You see a few fights start to break out of like, "Give me my money," and you know, it's a whole thing. But the shifter community takes care of it, and you guys can relish in this unsuspected victory of strangers coming into the Stoneyard. Wendolyn, how does it feel to win a game, a project?
I am in complete disbelief.
Yo, what if we started our own team? Like, we get jerseys and stuff. That'd be pretty fun.
Oh my god.
Gwendolyn is just like, she's on her knees, just like in this corner of the field, just like in complete shock. She's not saying anything. She's not looking at anybody in particular. She's just like, yeah. She could die happy right now.
That's all it takes, huh?
Love it. So kind of reconvene, gather whatever things you need to. Varian, your spikes last for an hour. Do you just want to keep them up?
I'll keep them up until I leave Shifter Town.
Shifter Town.
This feels culturally insensitive.
Oh, jeez.
I know it's problematic, but this is the first time I've ever won at any sort of sport. Please don't take this away from me.
But at what cost?
My dignity, honestly.
I don't know. I had a good time. I shoved that bully down. That was pretty fun.
I just bullied a small mouse man, and I feel kind of bad about it.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked up.
I'll buy him a drink at some point. It'll be all right. I just wanted to kind of, win and.
Isn't he like a kid? You gonna buy a drink for a kid?
Is the mouse kid? Is that a kid, or is that like he's just small?
He's just small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
People like guys in their late 20s, early 30s. You know, the kind of people you meet at like
The people that play like rec league basketball.
Yeah, basically. So
I'm just glad I finally got to use the lasso, just like in chapter 17, paragraph 3 of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. It was such a good time.
That was pretty good rope work.
Thank you.
It was impressive. But let's talk about that flying kick by Wendland. That was pretty fucking awesome.
That was insane.
Good.
Even with all
good.
that shit weighing you down, like that idol is not light, and you had 2 of them. Like fuck, man.
Thanks, guys. Really. Thank
Should we
you.
Should we just become professional players? Like we could do.
You
We
know,
should probably go do our
yeah,
jobs
no.
now.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
rather
true.
stick to my
Let's-
day job, to be honest. I get to shoot people in my day job.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
You
Sam.
could have shot somebody there.
I guess I could have, but
That
I
brings
think
up
that's
a
against
good,
the rules.
You know what? That's a good point that I'm not going to answer because I don't know the answer. Would Spike's gun arm be considered a natural weapon?
I was wondering about that.
Because it's part of him.
I was wondering if that's why he got away with the lasso, because they're just like, oh, he's a warforged. He's probably built in.
I'll say I am basically my body's a weapon.
My body's a weapon.
So they're just gonna have to get all over it. All
I
right.
love it. I love it. So you guys convene and continue on to where Donovan and Cornelius had already spotted. You found the neighborhood that Keena Button lives in. This little cultural alleyway in the Stoneyard called Little Barovia. It is a miles-long alleyway built around some kind of culture that is not native to Breland. And before we get into that and get into the lovely descriptions and atmosphere of Little Barovia, we're going to take a break because I
Toilet cat,
have to
yeah.
toilet cat terribly.
Let's drop some toilet cats in the chat.
Drops the toilet cats in the chat. So I am going to flip over to the short rest thing until we get back. And until then, see you in a few minutes. Bye bye.
I mean,
chat.
a donut.
What kind of donut are you eating?
Chocolate ice glazed.
Chocolate ice
I can
glazed
see it.
cream filled?
Yes.
Nice.
Mm.
Dude, I love cream filled. Jelly filled donuts? Underrated.
I'm very jealous, but also I know if I tried to eat any Krispy Kreme right now, I'd probably drop dead.
So much sugar. So much sugar.
Yo,
Yep,
shout
but-
out to the jelly filled, man.
Shout out to jelly
Fucking
filled.
good.
Yo, shout out to all my jelly-filled homies out there.
Shout
You
out
know
to
who you are.
fritters. Shout out to fritters. Apple blueberry fritters. That's my jam. I'd kill for a blueberry fritter.
Y'all ever had duck donuts before?
Duck
Yes.
donuts.
Duck
Yeah.
donuts.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a. I think it's a regional chain. I mean, I've definitely had them in Raleigh before. They're like these cake-style donuts.
Mm.
With it's almost like a Chipotle style thing where they just have a bunch of toppings, and you just be like, "Yeah, I'll take Fruity Pebbles on top with fudge," and it's just like, "Yeah, that's a reasonable thing to ask for at a 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. Here you
Of
go,
course we
sir."
have that.
They're so good.
Fruity Pebbles.
I'd like a peanut butter chocolate fudge one. From
That's
there
a good
time.
one. That's good. I'm a simple man. I don't really care for like lots of toppings. I'm more of like a flavor. Like
Give me just a chocolate cream-filled
Yeah.
donut. Like,
I think the only like topping, like sprinkle, like it's fine. It's just it's usually really messy and I don't know.
I can go with or without sprinkles.
Yeah. The maple bacon donuts that like a few chains have done. Not
Mhm.
bad. Not bad.
They're not bad. Yeah.
Not bad.
the or not donut, but you made me think about it. The Ron Swanson cookie from Cookie Co.
Not bad.
Rapid
Pretty
Cookie
good.
Co.
Pretty good.
I
Fucking
love App Cookie Co.
Bacon, whiskey, and
I miss their cheesecake
chocolate.
cookies.
Oh, the blueberry cheesecake.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I also love the cheesecake cookies, but I think every time I've had one, it has made me sick to my stomach. Like every single time, I like nearly throw up. I don't know why it is, because I love them. They're so good, but I think it's because
I
like
think it's just because they're super sweet.
I think so. I think it just fucks with me too much.
Man, I'd do
I was
something
there.
for cheesecake.
I love
True.
cheesecake.
I'm about to eat a cheesecake on Sunday.
Nice.
That's my go-to birthday cake. Give me some cheesecake, yo.
Yeah.
Insomnio Cookies has this double chocolate fudge cookie that if you get it like right after they make it,
It's all
Mhm.
melty and
Yo, chat, what's your favorite kind of cake and why? And if it's not cheesecake, go home.
who are the
Get away.
other three people? We got Bibby Thumps, Meg Games. We got Silly Gnome.
Meg, what's your favorite kind of cookie?
Grant was in here earlier.
Gra-
Oh, yo.
Like during the match, I saw Instagram TV, and I was like,
Hey, what's up, bud?
and then now Grant's gone.
Okay, let's widen the scope a bit because cookies are very small. Like, what's everyone's like favorite dessert? I know that's
Either cheesecake or pudding.
little big. What kind of pudding? What flavor of pudding?
I like I like cheesecake flavored pudding, but I mean,
I
like,
don't.
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with like a nice like.
Is that a thing? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's really good.
Unreal.
That doesn't sound real.
I'm not a huge fan of pudding.
See, pudding, I
I
feel
like
like is one of those things where either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nobody
I
who's
think-
lukewarm about pudding.
I think it's the what's it called? The consistency.
That's fair.
Mhm.
That's a little
Well,
weird.
I take pudding consistency over Jello consistency.
See, I love Jello.
I hate Jello.
Okay, that
Oh.
apparently that's the
That
dichotomy.
explains it.
Jello v pudding. Okay. All right.
I'm on Alan's side with that. I'll take Jello over pudding.
Yeah.
I don't know what my favorite dessert
I don't like
is.
the way Jello slides down your throat.
That was a weird way to say that. Alan, I guess Alan
Does
and
though.
Xavier. I guess this is more a follow-up question to that. Just more of like a litmus test. So, do you prefer like sugary chocolate vanilla-esque sweets over fruit sweets, or fruit sweets over the other?
Ooh.
Because I feel like Jello and pudding are the two sides of that, like fruit desserts and like sugar desserts.
I actually prefer the fruit. Yeah, I like more fruit desserts.
Okay.
I see. I know, like, or Alan, you got an answer before I go into
I-
a rant.
Before I go into my rant about desserts.
I mean, I think for me, it's the context. You know,
That's
It's
fair.
like if I'm
That's
having
fair.
like burgers and fries and stuff, I want my go-to is like a vanilla malt shake or something.
Mm.
If I'm having like
Okay.
like a Thanksgiving meal or something, I want like a cherry pie.
Pie. Yeah.
You know,
What about pumpkin pie?
I like pumpkin pie. Yeah,
I like pumpkin pie.
I like all the custard type pies. Those are pretty good. Like,
True, custard slaps.
Mhm.
mhm. Yeah, I guess it's context.
That's
for
fair.
me.
Honestly,
I
let's
understand
stop playing D&D. Let's just talk about desserts.
Dessert.
Well,
street.
how do you guys feel about chocolate versus sour?
Ooh.
Do you like? Because I like sour.
It's.
stuff.
I think
Like,
it's a mood thing, honestly, because I think it's a mood thing.
Like, what do you mean by sour? Like what?
candy wise.
Like sour candy.
Oh, I love sour candy.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you got
Yeah, I want
offered
sour
like this,
candy over
Yeah.
over chocolate candy.
like if I
Mm.
was like, "Hey Jacob, I'm gonna send you some candy for your birthday. Would you rather have like the sour straws or sour gummy worms, or would you rather have Reese's peanut butter cups?"
Reese's.
Reese's. That's the thing is like I like sour candy. Like the sour gummy worms are better than the non-sour gummy worms. Like that's
Agreed.
a fact.
Agreed.
And like Sour Patch Kids, delicious.
Warheads.
Oof.
Dude, eating warheads at the public pool in like 2003.
Or like a summer camp, because that's how like we
Yeah.
have like a little like place you could go to buy snacks, and you would only buy one thing of candy at the YMCA, so you could buy like a soda and some candy.
Oh, do y'all remember Drumsticks, the ice cream thing?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So
With like
okay,
the caramel filling inside.
that reminds me. So Rachel and I had gone to Vallecrucis, however long ago, and you know they have the millions of different types of candies there in their stores, and I mentioned cowtails. Do you guys know about cowtails?
Yeah, I know about cowtails.
And Rachel like had not had them or really heard of them, and I told her like cowtails are like sort of my guilty pleasure. Like I don't like them, but I love eating them. Like there's something about them, and so like it just shocked me.
Okay, explain that to me. You don't like them, but you love eating them. Like, what does that
They're
mean?
so
And now I
chewy.
feel the same way about Twizzlers.
Yeah, like they're so chewy, and like the like caramel chewy part doesn't really have any flavor, but that cream-filled center, it does something to me. It's so good. I don't know what it
That's
is.
how I feel about cheesecake, dude. I could just eat cheesecake for like years.
Oh my god, cheesecake. What is
There was a
with you and
time
cheesecake?
before, I think it was like right before I moved out, Carson and I just bought a whole thing of cheesecake. We just ate it with no silverware, just like using our hands.
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
We've unlocked. We've gone to a whole new thing, right? I don't know about this conversation anymore.
From the tray.
Yeah.
What dessert would you eat with your hands only?
Cookies.
Pudding, just
I'm just housing that back. Handful after
Uncut apple pie. You just reach in, grab a handful.
like scalding apple pie.
Scald- Birthday cake. Ice cream cake. Yo, ice cream
my
cake.
God.
Shout out to ice cream cake.
Yo,
Ice cream
y'all
cake
remember that sopapilla cheesecake I made
Yeah.
at last year's New Year's party?
I don't say this lightly,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that cheesecake fucked.
It does
Fuck, huh?
That cheesecake fucked.
I don't know if it's the cheesecake or if it's Jacob. I don't know which ones. I don't know if it's his like his personal
Just
thing
in a
going on
mood
here.
now. I
I'm a
almost
simple
forgot we
man.
were playing D&D for a second, so maybe I should pull that back up. Let's transfer back over. Holy shit. Anyway, so all you brave investigators successfully won a game of Prajak, the shifter street game. After that, you are now headed to an alleyway neighborhood in the Stoneyard district called Little Barovia. Now that you are all here and are all gazing upon the sign and the environment, you're all Sharn natives, so you all can make a history check for me. Oleg, little less so, but you've probably also been here for a while now, so.
12.
That was weird.
8.
6.
7. I rolled a 2 on the die.
Austin,
I
what did
rolled
you
a
get?
3.
Can I hear Austin?
Yeah, this is just history.
Yes.
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use inspiration.
Might as well.
All right. I got a 14. I didn't really do much better, but
So Oleg, you said 12. Alan, did you also say 12?
Yeah, wait, can I use somebody inspired me?
Beats me, man.
During the game, yeah.
Can I still use that?
Sure.
Or is there a time limit?
No.
Okay.
Let's just add to your pool of inspiration.
Yeah, I gave you bardic inspiration so you can.
Oh,
use
there's
I guess.
that too.
What's that? 17.
Okay. Donna was low, Baron was low. Spike, you got a 14. Austin, what did you get?
6.
6. Awesome. I cannot believe Varian rolled that. I cannot believe.
I rolled higher than very.
Stunning, truly.
Varian has just spent. He's quote.
He's got
Nadbot.
hedgehog on the brain.
He's
It
a
happens.
bubble boy. He's a bubble boy from the upper city. So
What is this place?
yeah, what the fuck is this? So Spike and Gwendolyn, and I feel like this is pretty, pretty good for being native to Lower City. This neighborhood of Stoneyard called Little Barovia is sort of an anomaly to the area. It's not an area that is well known for anything. Not really. It's not even necessarily a shifter neighborhood specifically. And in fact, once you start making your way down there, you see all varieties of humanoids and shifters mingling about. The only thing you really recall outstanding about this neighborhood is that it was started by an adventurer, so to speak, from however long ago, probably hundreds of years prior. You don't necessarily recall the story of why this neighborhood got started, but you do know that it's somewhat of a safe haven for people. And as members of the lower city, you've probably had an interaction or two with a vampire before. Occasionally, certain brothels will rent out some of their workers for vampires to feed upon. It is typically a grisly sight to behold, and typically not spoken about very often. It's one of those dark and dirty deeds that happens in the lower city. So you may have had one or two interactions in your history. And from what you know is that if vampires, shifters, or even lycanthropes were to live anywhere, it would be here in the neighborhood of Little Barovia. And so the neighborhood of Little Barovia stretches for miles down in essentially just one long alleyway nestled between all sorts of towers of the North Edge Plateau. It's very tight quarters, and you all immediately figure that out once you start walking through, and you're essentially having to walk 2x2 or 3x3, like shoulder to shoulder nearly. Varian not so much, because you have your spikes, and anytime someone bumps into you, they get a little prick in the shoulder and the chest, so they have to keep their distance a little bit. And Oleg and Cornelius, you kind of keep touching hands as you're walking next to each other and having that awkward shit as you keep brushing hands.
I'll hold hands.
But it is very Wendell. Spike
Rose, is it gay to investigate crimes together?
Spike, Gwendolyn reaches out and holds your hand.
I tell Wendolyn, hey, you might want to pop the collar a little bit.
I pop my collar, but my hand is still clasped with his hand.
His Spike's hand. And so you're walking very close. You're bumping into other shifters. You're bumping into other humanoids. You see that there are signs hanging from all the nearby towers advertising varieties of storefronts and vendors. Anything between food to clothing to just general housewares and things like that. And at this point, as you guys are making your way down the Little Barovia alleyway, you start smelling the smoke of cooking meats and cooking foods. And it all starts to dawn on you. It's like 6:30 in the evening, and you really haven't had anything since lunch, well before you started all this investigation stuff today. So it's probably been a good 6 or so hours. And so for everyone except for Spike, the moment the smell of these savory foods begin to hit your nose and the smoke charring up in the air, stomach starts to growl and pull in on itself.
What do you guys say we do a working dinner, huh?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I could go for that.
So you find local food vendors, and it's hard to choose from as people are yelling out their wares, yelling out their varieties of foods, and you eventually come up to what is effectively a kebab place, where they can prepare you a variety of roasted grilled meats, roasted root vegetables, all just on a kebab, very well seasoned, very savory. You collect, you get your food, you pay whatever at this point, except maybe for Oleg and Wendelin because you had money stolen from you. It's essentially negligible funds, just a couple silver each person. As you're sitting and eating and trying to locate the address of Kina Button, you start, probably all of you at this point after spending some time in this alleyway, it seems all hustle and bustle. Everyone's close together, moving around. Vendors are yelling out things at you. You can smell everything in there. There's so many sounds and things to absorb. But everything looks so bleak. The signs are colorless. The people are wearing fairly drab clothes. There's not really any music coming from nearby bars. It's just, even though there's life going on, it feels very lifeless. It feels all very hollow. So even though Wendelin, it might even feel like home to you in a way because it's so close-knit and people giving out food and stuff. It's just not the same. There's different tone to it, different color to it. Occasionally, you see some shadows overhead as flocks of ravens and crows fly from one perch to another. You occasionally hear howling sounds as if from dogs coming from some nearby homes and alleyways. Until eventually you make your way further and further into Little Barovia. Who has a passive perception of 13 or higher?
21.
So it's almost everyone except for Oleg.
Is this a navigation thing or just a...
This is a different thing. The navigation will come easily. Oleg, congratulations.
Oh no.
Everyone, as you are walking around, you start walking through and looking up at the surrounding towers. And especially Wendelin, Spike, and Cornelius, you're used to what it's like living in the lower city. You're used to not seeing green and seeing the towers rise up for miles up above you. But something's different about this little alleyway. The five of you happen to notice amidst your eating of your kebabs and looking at your surroundings that the towers almost seem to curve and fold in. And it starts to make you feel like you're not in the city of towers anymore. It starts to feel like you're almost in a tunnel. And the five of you start to feel claustrophobic. And it starts to wear on you. Like, it just feels not right. And it starts to it makes you feel really off and almost sick to your stomach. And I would like the 5 of you, everyone except for Oleg, to make a Constitution saving throw.
16.
20.
9.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
10.
Yeah.
So, Wendelin.
Oh.
This
Yeah.
it hits you different. Probably because it's so similar to your home district that it's just enough to make you feel so uncomfortable. You get just a tad lightheaded, a little bit nauseated. You notice that as you're holding the kebab up to your mouth, your hand's shaking just a little bit. You're glancing over your shoulders all the time, and effectively, until you leave Little Barovia, you are poisoned. So disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Oh, yikes.
In my panicked and lightheaded stupor, I want to try and climb up as a natural reaction.
So you all look over as Wendelin, kebab between her teeth, walks over and starts scaling the side of one of the towers.
Are we just gonna? All right.
Fine, monkey, get down.
I gotta
Are you
get out.
all right?
I'll be back.
Back. Where are you going?
All right. Well, I get the lasso. Well,
So Spike, go ahead and make a dexterity ranged attack.
Remember me.
can't go anywhere. Oh, that's a natural one.
Woof. Just falls back. Oh.
Oops.
Spike
I
lassos himself.
want to use the telekinesis to knock Wendelin back down.
So Wendelin, you are forcefully, unless Wendelin, you want to make a strength check or strength saving throw.
At disadvantage.
It's not saving throw. It's just attacks and ability check. So it's just a straight strength saving throw, right, Todd, or strength check?
It's I realized I misspoke. It's against my like spell DC essentially to not get like pushed down. It's not a contested thing. The thing is the Bear still would have lost, so it's not like that changes anything. But yeah, it's a strength saving throw.
Good to know. All right, Alan.
Strength saving throw. All right.
Oh boy.
What is my strength saving throw? How's a 16 work?
That's exactly it.
So Wendelin keeps pushing forward, climbing out of Little Barovia.
I'll do that bonus action thing. Can I make you roll -8 for Bardic?
There's a draft
Inspiration?
up here, guys.
So
Hey, get out!
She's trying to talk to us.
is it cutting words that does that, or is it like an eloquence bard thing?
It's a eloquence bard thing,
Yeah.
but I should have done that beforehand. It doesn't matter. She can keep climbing. It's fine.
I'm climbing. Okay, I'm climbing.
I'm not gonna expend resources on this.
Hey, Squinch, could you do me a favor? Could you just make her slip?
I don't.
Just make her slip.
She's really talented, man. She's kind of a badass. I don't know about what I'll do.
Message her and ask her what's going.
Just
How far up am I?
Are you all right? What's going on up
We'll
there?
say at this point you do a little bit of movement, you do a little bit extra movement as people are trying to stop you. So we'll say we'll call you. What's your movement speed?
45.
45. We'll say you're 90 feet up.
Oh my god.
How far is message?
So I think it's 120.
120. Okay.
So Squinch flies up, following your
Poke her in the
command.
hand or something.
However, reluctantly, Squinch starts to tug on like your hands and legs. However, he is a baby little imp. He cannot do much. So he
Baby man.
he looks down at Cornelius and he cocoons himself with his leathery, slippery bat wings and latches onto the bottom of Wendellin's foot like a sock. And so, Wendelin, you go to take your next step, and your foot feels weirdly cushioned, and then it slips against whatever hold you have, as Squinch's leathery wings slip along the surface. So
That's one way to do that.
so Wendelin, go ahead and just make a strength save to hold on. Just regular strength save, no disadvantage.
Hey Cornelius, if Wendelin would have, or not, I'm Cornelius. Wow, I'm gonna stop.
Oh my god. So I rolled a 19. That's a 23.
So
Oh my fucking god.
Are people?
There's a
watching
slug
this
on my boot.
It's
Squinch, good effort. You can leave.
fuck it. He lets go. Now he has a boot print on his face and torso.
Just let
Have I-
Gwendolyn climb. She'll come back down in a minute. Let's keep going.
Have I reached a roof?
You've reached no. You're in the lower city. It's just
Okay,
tower
okay.
all the way up. But as you're
Alright.
climbing up, you climb past window and door, and this commotion with Squinch on your boot, you rattle one of the windows, and you see a face look up on the other side. Wendelin, I
Yeah.
need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh god. Wisdom saving.
Wisdom saving
many
throw.
saving throws. 15.
You hear the voice on the other side of this window, clear as day. Say, darling, what are you doing out there? Get in here. You're gonna hurt yourself. And you slide open the window and begin to step through.
Oh no. Yeah, I get in and I say, there was a slug on my boot.
And you step in, and you all watch. You glance up one final time as you see the end of Wendelin's foot, like her leg, slipping through a window about 120 feet up.
Oh no.
We should probably go after her, right?
You said 120 feet?
Yes.
Don't
How
like
late is it
that.
now?
It's like you stopped, you ate, probably about 7 o'clock.
Would my coat
Not
work at this point?
quite, because it's the equivalent of like mid spring, and
Yeah.
so the sun's probably
So it
not
has
gonna
to
go
be
down for another,
actually
like
dark,
half hour.
not just
Yeah,
night.
we'll call it 7:30. So another half hour before it gets
Okay.
dark enough.
I'm gonna cast spider climb and walk up.
You cast Spider Climb and start walking up. What about the rest of you? Squinch comes down with a boot print from forehead to pelvis. Says, really, I tried. I'm not that strong. I tried to.
You did great.
Yeah, my
Sorry
wings
about
are
the boot
slippery.
print. Yeah, sorry about the boot print. We'll get you cleaned up in a minute.
He looks down at the tux that he's still wearing with the boot print on. He says, I gotta get this shit dry clean now.
We'll do it later.
I look around and I like, well, this is kind of a waste, but whatever. It's nighttime, and I put my hand on Spike's shoulder, and I puff out a thing of smoke and I dimension door us into the window where Wendelin was.
You both land on the floor in the interior where the window is. So those 3 are taken care of. Varian and Cornelius. The rest of the investigators have left. It's just the 2 of you back down on the street level.
I just kind of look at my food, and I look at Varian, and I just go, I don't have a way to get up there for another 30 minutes. So, unless you've got something... Say what?
The elevator.
You know what? I
The
guess there's-
elevator.
let's just take the elevator. It'll be fine.
Hey,
Just
I,
elevator.
I, I,
Elevator.
I mentally marked which apartment it is and how to get there from the inside. Yeah. Actually, can I get one more falafel before we go, please?
So you grab a
Just
little.
gonna take this kebab for the road.
Yeah, you get a little extra food for the way. So Wendelin, you look around at the apartment you've landed in, and it's not what you're used to for a Sharn apartment. It looks like you're inside of a castle. The stone, like, it has stone bricked walls and beautiful carpet and tapestries, beautiful wooden furniture and decorations on top of that furniture. You glance over to through an archway into a neighboring room. There's like a sitting room with a fireplace burning. And the person that looked up at you was sitting in that sitting room. It was just Kismet. He looked up and saw you outside as you're climbing past. Beautiful man, kind of short but still kind of curly, dark black hair. No facial hair, clean shaven, kind of wide jawbones and very defined cheekbones. Just kind of, classically handsome.
Yeah.
Wearing just, one of those nice quilted smoker coats, and he was just apparently just sitting in his little sitting room, reading, drinking for the evening, when he beckoned you in. As you go in, it's like you've known him forever. He's just another Sharn native.
In Wendelin's delirious state, she's literally weak at the knees.
Literally, yeah, all that work. It's leg day. And he walks over to you and he says, "What are you doing climbing on the outside of my building?" And he walks you over to the sitting room.
There was a slug on my boot.
And you had to climb a building. Here, just take a seat. We'll figure out this slug problem. Would you like a drink? Maybe a snack after all that climbing?
Yeah, you got a Bud Light?
We actually, here in Little Barovia, we just have Bud Dark. Is that okay?
Oh my
I'll
god.
take it.
I hate you.
Oh, I had to do it.
That was a choice you made.
That was a choice I made. If you want these stats for
man.
Bud Dark, follow me on Patreon and I will stat that item. So he brings you back essentially a stout in a pint glass.
And I chug it.
You chug it. You get a little frothy mustache. He sees you chugging it. When you pull it down, you have the frothy mustache. He kind of laughs it off and wipes it away with his thumb. And at that moment, you hear as you look over, and Donovan and Spike have turned up the rug, knocked a dresser to the side, knocked some decorations off that counter. The tapestry's fallen on top of them, and they're trying to get back up. It's a whole hassle.
Hey, you guys want a Bud Dark?
Oh, you know these? Are they your friends?
Yeah. We go way back.
Sorry, pardon our intrusion. Gwendolyn, our friend here, is just acting a little weird, so we're just making sure she's okay. Sorry for the intrusion.
Oh,
Hey, this guy's hot.
That is the thing you just said.
he kind of like turns, like fans himself a little bit and says, "That's very kind of you." He stands up to shake Spike and Donovan's hand. He says, "My name is Frey. And you're friends of Wendelin's. Care for a drink or a snack?"
Sorry, I'm on the job.
And
No
well,
drink.
I can't really taste things, so thank you though.
Oh, then I have the drink for you. And he walks over and starts pouring you a drink. And it's a mixed drink. It's kind of light brown, kind of looks like ginger ale, and sets it down in front of you.
Well,
I'm good.
I just said I can't taste. You saying I can taste this?
Possibly.
I down it immediately.
I down Donovan's drink.
You grabbed off his drink that he poured out. Spike, You don't taste it. It
Alright.
mostly just as a real human person, Xavier, it just kind of has like the quality of being spicy. You can kind of just feel like the inside of your mouth kind of burn a little bit. But Donovan, you look over at Spike after he downs that and a few moments pass, and you see that the like lights of his eyes kind of just darken like halfway. Spike, that was nice. That was a pretty good drink, man. It didn't taste anything, but like, hey, you feel pretty good.
No, stranger. What you put in that drink?
Says, oh, I come from a long line of winemakers, but I've been dabbling a little bit once I arrived in Sharn. I took notice of the warforged plight of not being able to have alcohol, so I thought I would experiment. And this is the best that I've been able to do. It still can't provide taste, of course, but some effect.
I sling my arm around this guy and just be like, "Hey, isn't my friend great and hot?"
Well, thank you, Gwendolyn. And might I ask, and at this point, Oleg, you arrive, climb through the window and stand in the port. And Frey, he looks at you and says, Gwendolyn, is this a friend of yours as well?
Yeah, we go way back.
Way back. Frey, he reaches out and shakes your hand. Oleg says,
Oleg.
welcome, to my little corner of Little Barovia. Now, can any of you explain what's going on here? Why Gwendolyn was climbing this tower, and why you now have chased her into my abode?
We're on the job right now. We're investigating a thing, and she just started acting real squirrely, and just came up here, and we just wanted to make sure she was okay. Sorry, like I said, for the intrusion.
I feel things.
That you do.
Frey kind of looks at everyone else when Gwendolyn says that, like,
that was never in question.
Frey says, "Oh, I see. Okay, yes. Little Barovia is strange in that way. It's no one's fault. No one can control it. It's just a nature of the neighborhood. So, Gwendolyn, very sorry about that. And,
You're welcome."
He says, Gwendolyn, how about you go pour us some refills, please?
Aye, aye, Captain.
And then he turns back to Oleg, Donovan, and Spike very quickly as Gwendolyn turns around. And he says, I gotta be forthright with you. I'm a vampire. And he, like, shines his fangs at you. And he says, and I truly did not mean to enchant Gwendolyn in this way. I just figured that she was someone in danger. She was scaling the side of a god's damn tower. And I would love to end the enchantment on her. I really would. But honestly, I kind of like the attention. So if I could just leave it going for a little while longer, that would be wonderful.
Sure.
I'm not gonna like stake you or anything. You're fine. Can you not charm our friend?
Sure.
We're kind of busy.
Listen, if you keep supplying them drinks,
says, alright, I can't promise that she won't try to run away again once I do that, but,
Hey, I found the drinks. I put it on this tray, and I think I found an orange. Does anybody want an orange?
yes,
Sure.
There should be a peeler. If you open the second drawer on the left, there should be a peeler. You can peel that orange, put a little orange peel in some of the drinks. That would be splendid. And then he turns back once more to Donovan, Spike, and Oleg. He says, "All right, I'll end the enchantment on her, but I assume at this point she will still might be a little squirrely. Maybe the drinks will have an effect, but
Yeah, okay. You know what? You can just leave it for now. While we're here, who are we looking for? Spike, Oleg, I don't remember.
Is this the peeler?
Can there be a knock on the door
I
now?
was just about to say. He says, actually, Gwendolyn, those are the I'll be right back. I expected to have this evening in with my book that I just bought down the street, but I guess it'll just have to wait. And then he walks to the end of his hallway, opens the door to Varian and Cornelius and says, "Hi there." And then immediately identifies you all.
I'd say throwing a full of falafel.
Yeah, or immediately identifies as you as Little Barovia outsiders and says, "Do you know Wendelin?"
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
Come on in.
Yeah.
There, Wendelin's mixing drinks for everyone.
Hey guys,
Oh,
do you guys want oranges?
it's...
You know what? I think I'm okay. Thank you, though.
Okay.
I'm good.
You know, if we could find clues like we find people to terrorize, we would be the best investigative agency in the world.
Has he said his
I
name?
agree.
I'm
Yes.
sorry if I.
Yeah, no,
What's
his name
his
is
name?
Frey. Or he just
Frey?
gave his first name, Frey. Yes.
Frey. Okay.
Frey.
Yes, sorry about the intrusion. Is everything all right? Wyndham, fine?
Yes. I thought Wendelin was just someone in danger, as I assumed that anyone who scales a tower this high must be someone who needs help.
I am
so
the danger.
I used some magics to coax her in, into
I
through the
am
window.
the danger.
Yes, you are, and here we are. So, yes, my name is Frey, as I have told your party members, so as not to alarm anyone.
I am the walrus.
All right. When
I-
I get the lasso back out. All right.
I am a vampire. However, of course, we have lots of us here. So I used some of my vampire magics to coax her in. She is still under that effect. Turning to Donovan now, looking back, I believe that we have opted to keep her under those enchantments to ensure that she does not go climbing again. Now, is there anything I can help you all with?
Yeah, we're looking for somebody.
Sure, in Little Barovia. Who?
Yes. Donovan remember, but I don't remember.
Yeah, Miss
Kina
Button.
Button.
I can't.
Button, yes.
Kina Button.
Thank you. I couldn't remember her first name either.
Yes, Miss Button. Lovely woman. You're a few
Hey.
apartments away, but right area a little bit. Just had a few apartments down. And she should be home, last I heard. I did hear that she actually had a visitor. She had another meeting, another guest. She must be a popular woman this evening. But yes, she should be in, yes.
Can you tell me what that visitor looked like?
Let me see. Elven, blonde hair, kind of thin. She was wearing a very normal, kind of drab clothing. Coat, simple button shirt and trousers, boots.
Does this
Elven
match
lady with blonde.
anybody we know of?
Quick question.
What's that person that's canoodling with Varian's uncle?
I was about to say. So Elven lady, blonde hair. Does she did this person happen to be particularly attractive?
Like a shortish kind of haircut?
From what I recall, it was cut on one side and then pulled up into a bun in the
Yeah.
Miss
back.
Belladonna.
Yeah, that's the one.
Attractive, yes. I think they were meeting for some kind of dinner or something.
How long ago did she have this visitor?
Oh gosh, I think she just walked through maybe half an hour or an hour or so ago. Not long.
We should go.
We should go. Yeah, I think we got to get back to work. Thank
It
you
was lovely
for
meeting you.
Yes.
Thank you for not freaking out the fact that a strange woman and several people just disappeared in your house. I hope your book is really good.
Oh, thank you.
A book? What are you reading?
Varian, this is not the time.
I apologize, by the way. My name is Cornelius. I didn't introduce myself on the way in.
Whoa, Frey,
Frey,
you have a
yes.
D20? Do you play Prisons and Paladins?
Where I
How long were
Gwendolyn,
you
I swear,
sitting on that, Alan?
stop breaking the fourth wall.
Ring the It's Cannon bell.
It's Cannon Bell. Yes, sometimes it's something. I don't have familiar with our Little Barovia. Many of its residents are not necessarily from Sharn or Breland, and so we bring in our own taste of culture, our own foods and clothing, and our own styles of leisure. So, amidst us vampires, we do play a game of sorts, where we do pretend to be others. I mean, it's pretty well known vampires live forever, so we might as well pretend to live as someone else. Yes, and he plucks the D20 out of your hands, tosses it into a drawer, and says, would you like some drinks for the road?
That's okay.
We have Bud Dark, we have some Warforged Special. Spike, yes. Yeah, so you raise your hand.
The Warforged Special.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a card. I have a connection with the carnival. I could probably get you. I mean, these are pretty good drinks. I could probably get you.
I've been looking into it. Actually, yes. Spike, come in here into my study, and he takes you into this office. You start exchanging some information, and he gives you effectively a flask of liquor, Warforged liquor, that he has been brewing.
Amazing.
Says, I'll be in touch. I've been looking into forging some kind of contract with that. And I've heard recently that the carnival has gotten some benefactors, some donations, so it's becoming a very nice bar over there in Highwall.
Mm-hmm. It's a good place coming up. Better get in while you can.
Good. He starts jotting down a few notes. So you all get loaded up on some drinks if you'd like.
I'm speed reading his book right now.
I'm keeping the oranges.
You notice it's a romance novel. It's one of those
Incredible.
off the CVS pharmacy shelves kind of romance novel. However, you notice that
Tusk Club adjacent.
it's Tusk Love adjacent, but then you start reading it and you notice that the protagonist wears a cowboy hat and a red bandana, and you keep glancing up at Spike, having this conversation. And so you see Spike in a whole new light, and then eventually Frey comes out. He says, Spike will be in touch. I'll let you know if anything comes up with the carnival. Gwendolyn, it was wonderful meeting you, dear. And he gives you sort of a kiss on each cheek.
Oh, do that again.
He takes in a big inhale, sighs, and then Gwendolyn, you feel the charm kind of fade away. And it sort of dawns on you that you're standing in a stranger's home. You know him at this point, but you this is not a normal place for you to be.
Why do I have oranges?
Your hands are sticky from orange juice, yeah.
I think that's a question only you can answer for yourself.
Truly.
But
I
I
think the
believe we
last
have,
one put her around her and be like, all right, let's go.
Gwendolyn has a
yeah,
child
we
leash.
have a meeting.
Like one of those backpack leashes?
Yeah, you have a backpack leash. So your Frey escorts you back. He bids you all farewell.
I hand him back his book, and I'm just enjoy. And then I try to wink, but I can't, so I just blink with both eyes.
As we're leaving, I'll just be like, sorry I didn't introduce myself. I hand him a business card. Cornelius Bray. If you need any help with anything, let me know.
Of course. He slips it back in. He kind of ushers you into the elevator, presses the button, and then as the doors start to close, he points at you, Spike, and he says, by the way, I like your bandana and hat. And then the door closes.
Now that is a man who has taste. All right.
He was very charming. I liked him.
Taste in literature, acquaintances.
Who was that guy?
Gods above.
So you make it. Eventually, the elevator opens at the bottom. You walk past where all the mail delivery boxes are, and you see that there's a woman checking her mail, and she looks over. Makeup perfectly done with dark lipstick, dark eyeliner, dark eyeshadow, dark hair, and kind of darker caramel colored skin. She looks over, and with the same beauty and charm as Frey, locks eyes with you, Donovan, and says, "Wow, I am graced this evening. Are you a visitor here?"
It is I who is graced. But yeah, I'm a visitor. I'm actually here on business.
Oh, well, I mean, it's getting late. Is your business soon wrapping up, I hope?
That's the thing about my business. Never really wraps up.
That's not good. You should always wrap it.
She looks and says, "Well, if you find yourself in need of a break, or your business happens to wrap up, I hope to see you in Little Barovia in the future."
Perhaps you might. Have a safe evening, ma'am.
Then she turns and looks at Varian, locks eyes with Varian, and then walks up the stairs.
That seems about right.
So feeling different, you all make it back out to the streets of Little Barovia, and once again, Wendelin, you step out into the streets, seeing the towers kind of crest overhead, meeting each other, and you start feeling sick to your stomach again. As the charm is lifted, you are still feeling claustrophobic and sickly.
I just close my eyes and I let Spike pull me.
Yeah.
Come on, little doggy. All right.
So Spike feeling a little, little good after a successful drink. Wendelin after a few successful drinks. You all make your way to the apartment of Keena Button. You find the building. As you make your way up through the building, you have a few other interactions. You see a lovely, freckled, red-haired dwarven woman stop Oleg. I say, "Oh my gosh, you're one with the Kundarak family. What are you doing here in our little neck of the woods?"
Oh, business.
Well, I do say that your house is known for its sort of warding and defenses, but truly, you should be on the front lines with a face like that.
Oh, thank you. You are quite the charmer. What is your name?
My name, it's Lila.
Lila. Oh, that's quite nice. Well,
I love Oleg.
Lila, I have to say I'm working now, so this was nice. Do you have a business card or something?
She leans forward. She basically touches fronts with you, reaches into your pack, finds a piece of paper and pen, writes down her apartment address, leans forward, puts the supplies back in your backpack, and then leans back.
And if you don't mind, you're a vampire, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much.
Is that a deal breaker?
No, I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I have not made
She
deals in the
turns
past,
to your
so-
friend standing there and says, "He's a little experimenter, is he?"
You have no idea.
Thank you, Austin.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And
I love it. Yes, Xavier, touch his fronts.
and I just say to her, it just, in the future, just so you know, I have expertise in all types of tools, and I walk away.
Amazing! So you get into the elevator on that note. You take the elevator right up. You all high five Oleg for his sick line.
Please quote that. Somebody please quote that.
I will not high five him for that.
Please quote it. I can walk. Chris high five.
And then eventually you reach, the elevator stops at supposedly Keena Button's floor, opens up, and you ring or knock to get her attention to come open it up. And that's where we're going to take one last quick little break, because I have a toilet cat super bad. We still have a little bit of time, so we'll kind of wrap this scene up, and then we'll be done for the evening.
And to quote gods, say that it is time to feed the toilet cat. So,
What? How do you? It's like exclamation point add quote, right?
I think so. I think you can.
What did you say, Travis?
I just have to pee, so I'm gonna move it to just chatting and let
just
you
so
guys
you
go
know,
for it.
just so you know, I have proficiency in all kinds of tools.
I have expertise in all types of
Yeah.
tools.
All kinds of tools.
Oh shit!
That's so
Sorry,
funny.
I will add that as a quote here in just a second.
That's so funny. That was so
I-
funny.
I'm in the middle of a boss fight.
What are you playing?
I am playing Final Fantasy, Travis. What else do I play?
Which what are you doing?
I'm leveling up my healer.
And what?
I'm doing a roulette.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Hey, chat. Have you heard of Prime Gaming? Well, if you
Oh my
have,
God. I'll be right back.
if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. And what can you do at Prime Gaming, you ask?
Nothing.
You can No, actually, you can subscribe to Logan's Twitch channel.
You can
Oh,
Yeah,
I can
you can
subscribe
pay
to Logan's.
Jeff
subscribe.
Bezos even more money because he's
Well-
not the richest man anymore, and that's
Well,
very
you're
sad for
already
him.
paying them if you already got Amazon Prime, so might as well use that to something good, like helping out our friend Logan here. And if you subscribe to his channel, you get access to all of his cool emotes, such as Toilet Cat and Creamer
And the spike boots.
and the Spike Boots.
Don't you want
Also-
a new boot goof just like Spike?
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe today.
Sure you do. Help Logan reach his sub goals, and also Prime subs count towards that. So help him out.
It'd be pretty poggers of you.
Don't you want to be his little pog champ?
No one wants to be a pog champ anymore,
Wait.
Xavier.
Are we done
That
with
guy's bad. That guy
Oh, is
doesn't
he?
believe in vaccinations.
Oh no! Get him out of here!
Didn't you see that PogChamp isn't a thing anymore?
No, is it not really?
No, PogChamp isn't a thing anymore, Xavier, because that guy apparently was saying bad things about recent events.
That guy's stupid. Can we make a new pog champ?
That's what they were doing. Now they're doing a thing where like people in the community can be the PogChamp of the day.
Really?
Today,
That's kind of cool.
Today is the Critical Bard, like from Critical Role. He's the PogChamp of the day.
I kind of like that
I saw
more.
that.
That's a good way instead of like getting rid of it fully. It's like just rebrand it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. But also, do you have any hard hitting questions that you want to ask the people in Sharn Nights?
I sure do.
Post them in chat, and we will make sure that they are answered in the special Sharn Nights After Dark that will happen after the session today.
Is there anything they should do to make those chats stand out?
Yes, highlight them in chat with your tings, and we will
Wow.
make sure to copy me, the unofficial executive producer of Sharn Nights, will make sure that they are read. Today, the people answering your questions will be Logan, Carson, and Alan, and me.
Whoa. You know what? Jacob, what if I wanted even more content from Logan? What should I do about it?
Subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Whoa. Anything else?
Subscribe to his Patreon.
There it is.
There
it
we
is.
go. And what does he have on his Patreon?
Crazy shit.
Whoa.
Very
D&D
cool.
content uploaded straight to your Patreon feed.
Now, what if I said, man, I love watching Logan stream and play these games and DM, but what if I was like, man, I want Logan to be my DM? Is there anything I can do for that?
What's that website called? I forgot.
Well, guess who? Logan's here. That website
Whoa.
is called startplaying.games, where I am currently doing a bi-weekly Introduction to Call of Cthulhu series, and I will soon be, once I figure out what my other D&D schedules are, I will be doing a regular dungeon crawling D&D campaign for the Forge of Fury from Tales of the Yawning Portal. So if you're playing a highly political, highly role-playing D&D campaign, at Austin Vogel saying, and you just kind of want to slay some monsters sometimes, Forge of Fury is the campaign for you.
See, when I want more content from Logan, I just drive to his apartment and throw pebbles at his window.
You drive all 12 hours to my apartment
do.
and throw pebbles.
Logan
I
doesn't
thought
like
it
it when
was.
you do that, though. So
Oh. And if that was too much information for you to write down, don't worry. You could just scroll down and it's all there below on Twitch.
It is! And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, probably more Twitter than Instagram, and you can hear from me way more often than you'd probably like to.
Oh, yay!
I really don't post that much stuff. It's mostly just fun, like, promotions of my friends
go.
and other creators.
there you
so-
go, Travis.
Just so you know, I have proficiency in all kinds of tools. I thought it was expertise in all kinds of tools.
I
did-
did say expertise, but
expertise.
you know it doesn't matter.
It still
Sorry, I thought you
lands.
said proficiency.
Expertise sounds better, but you know, like
So-
it's fine.
so- Question.
I'll edit it later.
Yes,
I'll fix it in
awesome.
post.
I heard a very emphatic use of my name from the bathroom.
Oh.
What was that about?
That was just it was us doing these weird ads for things that I do, and I was talking about startplaying.games, how I'm gonna be starting a dungeon crawling campaign, and so I had said, so if you're doing a highly roleplay and investigation heavy campaign, Austin, then you can take a break by doing a dungeon crawl thing and slay some monsters. Yeah, that's basically all I use my Twitter for at this point, is just promoting other people besides myself. I'm so bad at self-promotion, but I'm really good at talking about how great my friends are.
Yeah, that's why you need to like hire someone to. Do
I
it
might
for
have
you.
to. I'm terrible.
Well, let
For
me tell
a
you.
low price of your eternal friendship, I will do it.
Ooh.
Wow, you're
Eternal?
really underselling yourself. You want to be friends with Logan forever?
Can't even buy a 4-for-4 with that.
That reminds me, if you need some more incentive to subscribe to my Patreon, aside from all of the amazing things that we've already talked about I do on my Patreon, this week on my Patreon is going to be Barbarian Week. So in the past, I have done theme weeks for certain D&D classes, and I usually make a slew of items, some feats, and something specific for that class. For the first week I did, it was Warlock Week, and I did Warlock-specific items, feats, and invocations, which Austin has used a few of those things in this campaign. The second has been Druid Week. I did Druid-specific items, Druid-specific feats, and Druid-specific cantrips, which was a lot of fun to do. This week is going to be Barbarian Week, and so far I'm very pumped about the Barbarian items. The one that I will spoil is what I've temporarily named the Hero's Cape. It's essentially a barbarian cape that turns you into Superman. You can cast Jump on yourself, you can cast Heat Metal, you can cast Gust of Wind, and you can cast Fly on yourself. As a barbarian, you can turn yourself into Superman!
That's right.
It's grossly overpowered, but can you imagine how happy your barbarian player will be to be Superman for a time? Can you imagine? It's so, like nothing better. Nothing better.
Did you
Thundarian, and I will pluck the sun from the sky.
Exactly. Exactly.
did you say how
Bro,
much it
okay.
costs to get in on that dungeon crawling action?
For the dungeon crawling action, I have not declared a price yet, but it will likely be anywhere from $10 to $15 per session. Because it is sort of an ongoing thing, it will likely cost more to make sure your character has a role in the campaign. But for the Call of Cthulhu, it only costs $5 to learn how to play Call of Cthulhu and have your own Call of Cthulhu experience. It's lots of fun. And I have recently learned, by accident, it's very hidden within the mechanisms of Start Playing, is that I can give away free passes to some of my paid games. So
Ooh.
absolutely foresee in the future doing that. And even for my own players, I'll invite you to some of the games if you have a free Wednesday open. Alternate Wednesday to Crimea open. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Man, that was a lot of advertising the past 20 minutes. Yeah. And also, if you want to publish things on the DMs Guild but don't know how, hire me as your little makeshift editor. I will help you do that. It's lots of fun. Everyone deserves to hear about your creativity, so we'll do that. Anyway, we'll start wrapping up here as you arrive in Keena Button's apartment. So, this apartment is similar to Rick and Greycastle's apartment, where the neighboring apartments have been taken out and it's all but connected into one large penthouse. So even though Keena Button comes from an old family of Sharn and is a ranking member in the Arum, she lives in a lower portion of the city, which is made up for by the grace of her apartment. Similar to the previous apartment, it looks like the interior of a castle. The stone walls, the roaring fireplaces, the tapestries and portraits on the walls, the beautiful massive landscape artworks, the silver and gold decorations, the carpets, the beautiful wooden furniture. It is ornate in here for a lower city apartment. And it's quite homey for an apartment. When you knock, it would be more of a ring from the elevator that you come in on. You ring the bell, and the gate is lifted up by a very sallow, thin, almost sickly-looking man in essentially a tuxedo, a little butler's uniform. Anyone can make either a nature or arcana check for me.
Arcana 24.
Uh, 15 Arcana.
I got a 17.
18.
Oh
I'll
shit!
say nature because
Variant's having an off day.
I'm
not
nature.
rolling
Sure,
well.
why
Yeah, I got a 3.
not?
And Alan, what'd you get? If you wanted to roll, you really didn't have to roll.
I won't roll.
Alright. Everyone except Spike and Wendelin. This man is dead. Or at least undead. You can see by
I've been mostly dead all day.
the rotting of his skin, the lack of hair on his head, and you pick up a little hint of the smell of death that is being hidden by some kind of perfumes and colognes over top. He looks at all of you as you arrive. He says, "Welcome to the Button home. Are you here to see Miss Keena?"
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
"Can I just get all of your names, please?" And I assume you all give him your name unless otherwise. And he begins very slowly writing down all of your names on this little notepad that he has. It takes far too long.
As he's like slowly writing our names down, I'm just gonna like lean over to Varian and just be like, "I've seen some really weird shit, but this is just like uncomfortable."
Yeah, I don't like it.
Did you say something? Donovan.
Nothing for you.
Spike.
Lovely street food.
And eventually this butler. And even though he vaguely looks like human-ish, he introduces himself as Percival, and says, "You can just call me Percy or Percival, whichever you prefer. Currently, Miss Button is having a light supper with another member of the Arum. Is this a pressing matter? Would you like me to interrupt their supper?"
I'm sure we can wait if there's an area
we can sit and wait for Miss Button and her guests to finish their meal.
Of course. Would you like me to let her know that you are waiting?
Yes, please.
If you wouldn't mind.
Of course. Right this way. And he slowly leads you down a little connecting hallway to a waiting room. There's another roaring fireplace, which upon closer inspection, it is a magical fire. It gives off heat and light, but is not giving off any kind of smoke or anything. Seems to be some kind of illusion. There's a drink cart that you can help yourself to. There's a bookshelf full of variety of books you can look at, artwork. Make yourselves at home. He says, wait here and I will come fetch you when Miss Button is ready. And he bows his head. And as he bows his head, you see that through his very thinning, falling out, almost skeletal looking hair, just liver spots. And then there's like a scar that runs across the top of his head. And he leans back up and leaves this waiting room for you to do what you'd like in here as you wait. If there's anything you want to do or discuss.
How have you not moved that part of the city?
You cut out a bit, Carson. Could you repeat that?
Oh, I was just kind of musing to myself, like, how have I not learned about this part of the city? I think back to poring over a big map, and there's just a coffee stain. Like,
over Little Barovia. That's where the Firebolt energy drink is sitting on the map.
Yeah, it's spilled and burned a hole through the map.
Not in game because Cornelius would remember, but Austin is having a hard time remembering.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming to talk to Keena Button. Why did we end up? What led us to talking to Keena Button?
You had just found that in going through Miss Orion's sort of correspondence and Tengfei de Lirandar's correspondence, that Keena Button had exchanged letters with the both of them.
And those were two of the victims. Okay, yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
the victims.
cool.
Yeah.
Done.
It wasn't
Thank you.
anything incredibly telling. It was just that she had contact with both of them. Is there anything you would like to clarify or ask before your time with Keena Button? Any of you?
So this room that Percy brought us to. Did he indicate how close we were to the dining room? Is this just like a room just off of it, or is it
Not enough for you to like ascertain. He did not gesture or anything, so you don't know how close you might be.
while we were coming in? Could I just like look around and be like, maybe it's that way? Like, is there any way I could indicate?
So the elevator kind of led into just sort of a very small entryway, and then connected to a long hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So you imagine, if you imagine looking down like an apartment, like floor, and all of the apartments' front doors are on either side of the hallway, you can kind of imagine that. But instead of the front doors, it's just archways into main rooms of this penthouse. And so you imagine this front hall connects to all of the major rooms, if that makes sense.
Okay. Because I want to try it, just in case. I am going to give Ghostly Gaze a shot.
Okay.
See if I can look through the walls and see them and their conversation and read lips from there.
What is the distance?
30 feet.
30 feet. So the size of this apartment. You peer through the walls of this penthouse, and you think you locate the dining room because you see the end of a table and chairs around it, but the table exceeds the length of your vision.
Can I
With
like
no
lean up
sign
against the
of
wall
that.
and see if I can get a little more?
You squeeze. Okay, so
Like go to that side of the room and just like.
so the rest of you watch as Cornelius kind of like goes to like the edge of the room, but then starts to like he moves like a chair out of the way and like presses against the wall, like kind of nose first, like.
He's feeling it too now.
And so Cornelius, you eventually see the ethereal visages of Ithranel Adana and Kina Button sitting at this dining table at one end, eating a very light supper of like salads and little biscuits and like decaf coffees and things like that. And upon reading their lips, they seem to be having just sort of business discussion. Kina Button, you see her mouth like, so you're sure we can get this room in this tower at that time? I know they're very stingy about their reservation times, and I'm really trying to. Ithranel says, yeah, no. I know someone over there. They should be able to get us that, however long and whatever time we need it. We should be fine. It's great. And, there's a lot of people, like, looking forward to this, so we really should, blah, blah, blah. And as it goes on, they seem to be scheduling some kind of, like, meeting, some kind of community gathering elsewhere in
this
this
economy?
In this economy, right? So it seems to be very, like, for Austin, and Cornelius being very perceptive and, analytical, it's very mundane. There aren't any trigger words that spring out to you. It's just kind of talk about whatever kind of ideas they're having.
Useful.
Okay.
A little time passes, and Cornelius, I will say that you do pick up on that Kina Button. One, I nearly forgot this, that you were the person, because I believe you saw her. You just don't know you saw her at the Arum gathering. She was the gnome woman with short cut wavy hair, kind of pale and pallid looking. You happen to glance a look at her and notice that she did not look like everyone else. And you see her again, sitting at the table.
Okay, cool.
And with your ghostly gaze, you see through the object, dark vision, special sight, ghastly transparent images. Cornelius, this will determine how much you know. Make a perception check.
Don't like that. You. 15.
That is exactly what I decided you needed.
Oh, baby.
You notice that whenever Kina Button laughs and smiles, she has the pointed teeth of a vampire. And then you start piecing together the information that she's spoken about, the things that she seems to be trying to garner from Ithranel. And it seems as though Kina Button, in her sort of philanthropic old money position in Sharn, even as a vampire, she's sort of a representative in a way. She's trying to garner for safe spaces for vampires to roam freely around Sharn, to not be seen as vicious undead monsters and, variety of other things. So they seem to be trying to work out, like, how they can make that possible, where they can go, who they can contact, sorts, stuff like that. So Kina Button seems to be sort of a not necessarily a leader in these parts, but somewhat of an advocate. Everyone else, what would you like to do in the meantime? Or just wait it out?
I'm gonna browse the books in this room, see if there's anything interesting.
Stare at the fire.
I'm gonna see if there's anything suspicious around, anything newsworthy.
Wendelin's doing that, like, I'm too drunk thing and trying to focus on one thing so you don't throw up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was so focused on that. Jacob, what did you say?
I'm just gonna look for anything suspicious or newsworthy.
Suspicious or newsworthy, go ahead and make an investigation check for me, and Varian, go and do the same investigation check.
Oh.
Holy crap, congratulations, Stephanie, for real.
Yes, congratulations. That's awesome. Ooh.
Investigation for me is a 24.
Whew.
A 30.
Show off.
Okay.
This is what I get for saying I wanted to do like a murder mystery campaign. Carson's gonna come in swinging. So, Donovan, with even that high of an investigation, things that are newsworthy. You notice that one of the landscape portraits on the wall, you don't recognize where it is. A lot of them have little labels saying like Talenta Plains at night. And it's a nice little landscape of the plains at night. At night. You even find a little like multi-sectioned landscape piece of artwork of the Demon Waste that you kind of look at semi-fondly, but you're not really from there as much. But then there's one that does not have any kind of labels or anything, of a windmill seemingly on a cliff in a storm with forests surrounding it at its base. You don't recognize it, and it kind of starts to irk you as you're looking at it, and you're like, why don't I... What the fuck is wrong with this?
Does it have a name on it?
It does not. That's what kind of catches you. It starts to like eat at you that you can't recognize it. Varian. On the other hand, the bookshelves are Sharn history, Breland history, correspondence from the last war, collection of soldiers' letters, general fiction, varieties of fiction, actually. You notice, and it kind of sparks you up a little bit, having the day that you've had. It clicks to you that vampires they live a long time. And so you start to especially look for old books. And there are some books on this shelf that are old. And so you start plucking at some of those, and they're all like, it's not just like Sharn history, it's Sharn history from like a first-person perspective in that era, in that year.
Wild.
And so you're starting to see like, holy shit, she has some like good, like real stuff in here. And so you start reading through some of that. You even find a letter of correspondence in the during the War of the Mark, whenever the aberrant Dragonmarked people in the Dragonmarked houses had a battle in Sharn. And you start finding some first-hand accounts of the power of those aberrant Dragonmarked people back then. And it is just insurmountable, the amount of power that was displayed. And what was myth is now showing itself as like reality to you. Like, holy shit, they had so much power before that war was waged.
Incredible.
Anything else anyone would like to do?
I had a very random thought, but can I look around for any secret passageways?
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah.
Spike, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
What's 16 plus 6? 22?
22.
E.
Spike, you are, Cornelius has his face pressed up against the corner of the room. Varian is scanning all of these books. Donovan's looking at the art. Wendellin's staring at the fire. I assume Oleg is just minding his own business. And so, Spike, you start looking at the stone floor beneath you that's covered in rugs, the wooden support beams in the walls, the stone walls. And you kind of just start walking around, pacing the room, kicking your metal... actually, you're wearing cowboy boots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you start kicking the heel of your boot into some of the stones, and you watch as one of the stones kind of loosens up some. And you kind of toy at it with the point of your boot a little bit, and it's an entirely loose stone in the floor.
Well, I'm gonna get down Jimmy at it.
You start jimmying at that. It takes a little while because you have like your metal fingers, so they don't fold and meld as much into the cracks. So you have to take out a knife eventually, and kind of pry it open. And you lift out the stone to reveal essentially a compartment carved into the floor. And inside of it, you see a bundle wrapped in cloth.
A bundle. Can I? Well, I'm gonna. Winland. Well, never mind.
Huh.
Immediately, Wendelin looks pale when she looks away from the light.
I'm just like, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna think about.
Good.
Should I take this?
Yeah.
All right. I take it. I start
Okay.
unwrapping it.
You want
Follow
to
your
unwrap it?
dreams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do what you can before you can't.
Wow, that's words right there. Some wise words.
Amazing.
I imagine Wendelin just has this like deathly look on her face, like she just spoke some grave apocalyptic fate.
I see something in the fire.
Spike. You open up the bundle. And inside, you see what seems to be a sword hilt wrapped up in the cloth.
I think I know what this is.
I grab the sword hilt.
Me too.
I say with the powers of Excalibur, I am the king of Camelot.
By the power of Grayskull!
No, I take the sword hilt.
I would pay money to see a Spike, He-Man / She-Ra transformation happen.
Oh my god. Just Spike has a magical girl transformation.
Yes.
Please.
So
Like
what do you
Sailor Moon?
do with the sword hilt? Yeah, Sailor Moon.
Does anything happen? Like take it?
So when you're looking at it, is a simple silvery steel hilt with some kind of green grayish gem embedded at the top of it. There's no blade, and it doesn't look like there was even a blade forged for it. Strikes you as a little odd. Spike. Spike, go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
Oh. That is a 19 plus 3. So 22.
So everyone is sort of engaged in your own task or activities. Suddenly the room is filled with a bright light. And
I knew it.
you
Yep.
look over and Spike is holding a sword made entirely of sunlight at the blade.
Sunblade.
What? Oh my god.
And at that moment, Cornelius,
Mm-hmm.
you see. Well, how long does your ghostly gaze last? Does it last for?
Lasts like a minute.
Okay. Either way, you hear Ithranel and Keena Button's footsteps start walking down the hallway.
Put that back! Put it back! Put it back! Quick! Quick!
Yes, they're coming.
I take it and I just put it in my coat pocket.
He did it.
The blade is still on.
Spike, go and make another wisdom check for me.
Oh my god. Excellent.
17.
17. In your
Maybe.
panic, you kind of shake the blade a little bit to put, as you're going to put it in your pocket, and the sun radiant portion of the blade disappears, and you slam the hilt into your duster pocket.
Can I slam like the little stone
Yeah,
tab
you
that
push
was
the stone
okay.
back into place. And so you all looking in horror at Spike, Ithranel and Keena Button round the corner into the sitting room and say, well, I didn't expect visitors. And Ithranel immediately like brightens up and says, what are you all doing here? I feel like I just saw you yesterday.
Hello. Yeah. It's a pleasure to see you once again. And I look back at Spike. I guess just be like, be cool.
I look back at you and was like, you be cool, man.
And Keena Button says, Percival said you wanted to speak with me about something. And Ithranel turns to her and is like, yes, these are my friends. You may have seen them at the gathering yesterday. And Keena Button kind of like nods, like, oh. And says, yes. Trust me, you'll want to hear whatever they have to say. I'll leave you to. Do you have questions? Did you come here seeking me? Am I?
No, it was a happy accident.
And you see now, from the night before, she had like the long blonde hair and the cut on the side, the silky white dress. Now she's wearing like long coat, simple button blouse, trousers and boots, hair up in a bun. She's very dressed down for this kind of thing. And she says, "Well, it was lovely running into you all. I'll leave you to it. I saved a little coffee for you all if you want some." And then she turns to Keena, kind of leans down, give a kiss on either cheek, and then turns to you all and gives you a kiss on either cheek to sort of say goodbye. She says, "I'll see you all soon. I'll be in touch." And then
Lovely.
Go
Have a nice night.
you as well. And Ithranel goes to make her exit, and then Keena Button turns to you all with the authority of an old woman who knows what she's doing. Alright, so Percival said you wanted to meet with me. Come on in the dining room before my coffee gets cold.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course. Thank you.
So she escorts you all into the dining room. And once more, it's a lovely grand table. You see where the spots have been set out for Ithranel. And she yells over to Percival and says, set out a few more places, please. And very slowly he gives you all cups of like coffee and little plates of like pastries. It sets out a little like tiny supper for you all. She says, so what graces me with your presence. You're a friend of Ithranel's, yes?
That we are. Sorry, introductions might be in order. We apologize for intruding on your evening without any prior engagement. I am Cornelius Bray. These are my associates. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Well,
Donovan Damon,
yes.
Associate of the Press.
Oh, good to know.
Very Dimmadoni. A pleasure.
Oleg the Kondoruk.
I'm okay.
That remains to be seen.
Are we sure about that?
So Keena Button turns to the rest of you, looking at Wendelin.
She's had a weird afternoon. You'll have to forgive her.
She said the word weird life, yes.
Did not agree with her.
And then finally turns to Mike and says, "All right, soldier, what do you call yourself?"
How did you know that I was a soldier?
Oh, you're a warforged. You're not all former soldiers.
Yeah, that's right. Name Spike. Spike. Sometimes they call me the Iron Hunter. I am a warforged. You already know that. I'm a cowboy. You could tell by the attire. I'm a bounty hunter. I hunt people down for a living, but I'm not hunting. I am. Hello. Howdy.
All right, Percival, he needs a drink. I don't need the compliment. Get him some of the stuff that Frey makes. Yes. So Percival, the undead butler, brings you a mixed drink containing the Warforged liquor that Frey makes, and pours you all else coffee and drinks of your choosing, and brings you snacks of your choosing. It's very luxurious. And she says, so, why have you all come here this evening? And for everyone besides Cornelius, I should probably specify, she is a gnome woman with kind of cropped, wavy, platinum-colored hair, but also very pale, almost sickly-looking skin, very thin, high cheekbones, and she's also wearing dark, kind of muted colors and kind of muted-looking jewelry. Kind of a grave-looking woman, but still fairly powerful for her small and dark stature.
How old does she look, roughly?
Roughly, from your best guess, like middle-aged to older, maybe like 50s to 60s in human years. However, as an undead person, you're not sure.
Okay.
So, what brings you all here to Little Barovia?
We are investigating a series of attacks on some of the city's preeminent citizens, and we were hoping to track down a lead. I'm sorry, I believe you knew Katarina Orion, and thank you.
Yes, that's familiar. We exchanged some correspondence, doing a bit of business. A few of my own family were wanting to open some little restaurants or curio shops or what have you in Terminus Station or in the Dark Tower, and they were both the heads of such operations, so I figured who wants to contact. So yes, I was in touch with them, and I'm very sorry to hear about what gruesome ends they met.
Of course. Do I think she's speaking truthfully?
Classic. Make an insight check. And anyone else can as well.
Cool. I was about to ask.
Not me.
Definitely not me. I think she's honest.
Insight?
Damn.
Well,
That's gonna be a 22.
Yeah, I only
Would
got
I-
a 16.
Would I have to do it at disadvantage?
Yes, unfortunately.
16.
She.
My first roll was a 20.
Oh, damn. So she's kind of a hard person to read. She's clearly experienced, but here's how we'll treat this. You see that she does not, like, she says that she is sorry for their loss and things of that nature, but she doesn't seem to be feeling all that much empathy. However, she doesn't seem to be lying or misleading about the event. She doesn't seem to be experiencing any signs of guilt or anxiety, but she's at least not experiencing any kind of, like, regret about the event or empathy about the event.
Okay. Cool. Oh, I'm gonna pivot right into yes, truly awful. Do you know anyone? Can you think of anyone who would have wanted to hurt?
Well, Katarine was a sweetheart. I know that I feel as though some other dragon-marked individuals may have been a little bit upset by her running some of the things around Terminus Station, her not being dragon-marked, of course. And if I might be quite frank, Tengfei de Lerndar was a bit of a bastard. A bit hard-headed, a bit pompous about his position. Didn't really want to see... he didn't see my family having any place in his beloved tower, even though it is literally quite the purpose of Lerndar Tower to showcase the many cultures of... Anyway, as far as who would want to express ill will against them, I didn't know them enough personally to comment on such a thing.
Of course. We also believe that there was a suspicious death of a House Thrashk member sometime earlier than Katarine's demise. Carson doesn't remember the name, but
Yes.
Varian would.
In
And,
Vegas.
In Vegas. Thorn, do you happen to have any knowledge of this person as well?
That I would. I helped with the arrangement of his affairs, renting his room, catering his meals, all of that such. I can only comment on the fact that when Vegas arrived in Sharn, he and his guard were very well taken care of. We had a lovely dinner and party to try and execute some RM deals with him, and then he left about when everyone else did, a little bit before. His death is rather suspicious, yes, but I don't know of anyone that would have had any kind of play in it, if that's what you're going for.
I turn back to my companions, and as if to indicate if anybody else has questions.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Cool. I just felt like I was talking a lot, so.
That's okay.
For Forgive me if you may have talked about it already, but this House Thrash guy, you said you handled his room and boarding and things like that. Did you meet him? Did you get a sense of the kind of person he was? Like, what if you happen to have spoken to him at any point?
Yes, the House Thrash, they are helpful, good workers, and his clan in particular, they're very noble. And I'm going to say you all are observant and insightful enough to know that she is hiding back a little bit. There's something else that she's not giving up about in Vegas and that scenario. They were good. They were very pleasant.
Forgive me, not to be someone who comes into your house originally uninvited and asking questions and things like that, but I've been doing this for a while, this whole investigating thing and talking to people. I get a pretty good read about how people are. And forgive me for saying this, but I get the feeling that you're holding back a little bit about something. There's something that you're not saying. Whether did he do something specific? Did he cross you in a way that you're not really? Do you know something about him that? I'm getting the sense that you're holding back about something. And trust me when I say every little bit of information that we get points us to figuring out who's doing this. And we can put a stop to this little bit of chaos that's springing up here.
And when Cornelius says that, I would like to chime in and say, he's exactly right. You can tell us. And then use unsettling words to give her a minus bardic inspiration to the saving throw when I probe her mind with detect thoughts.
Ooh. So,
yes!
Double. So she'll make
Double
the saving
whammy.
throw, and Cornelius, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Gladly.
And Jacob, go ahead and
That
roll
saving
the...
throw is going to be at a -8.
Ooh, she rolled an
Baby.
18, though.
Alright, baby. Persuasion. Okay, I wish that had been better, but it's not. 19.
19. And Jacob, what is your saving throw DC?
16.
And it's a wisdom save?
Mm-hmm.
She rolled an 18, -8, +7. So 17. And so, Cornelius, you ask her this question. And then she immediately snaps over to you, Donovan. It says, "That's quite rude, don't you think?"
So it's lying. Just putting that out there.
Okay, let's not dwell on this. I apologize for the intrusion. There are people dying out there, and we're trying to put a stop to it. If it's something sensitive or embarrassing, and rest assured, it will not leave this room.
She scoots back her chair and drops down to the floor. And then she looks at all of you and says, "Well, this was quite the lovely meeting. I fear that it is getting late, and I'm sorry, but I must ask you to leave."
Of course.
And Percival comes over, starts to help you all try to get up. And as he's escorting you, Varian, Keena Button grabs your hand as Percival is escorting everyone else and stops you. And says, whispers very quietly to you. Who are the observant people?
Me and Varian.
Cornelius, what's your passive perception?
21.
you spot Keena Button grab Varian and whisper something to him.
Can I see your lips?
Probably not, unless you wanted to try and position yourself in a weirdly strategic way.
Don't want to be too conspicuous about
And Varian, she grabs your hand and kind of pulls you a bit closer. And she says, I am this close to getting the help we all need. And I don't need you all screwing it up. I'm sorry, but good luck on your investigation.
I give her a confused look, nod curtly, and walk out.
So you all gather up into the elevator. Percival does this awkward, like, wave at you as the elevator doors close. And
That's
then-
still uncomfortable.
and
Damn,
you're all
she knows
sitting-
something.
Varian, what did she say to you?
Are we outside of her place yet?
In the elevator and sort of in transit to wherever you might be going next.
Ground floor.
She said, I'm close to getting us the help we need. And I can't have you messing that up. Who is us? Who is we, and what help?
She is an advocate. She's an advocate for vampires in the city.
I guess.
She's trying to. Well, I mean, that's what. I
Oh.
mean, imagine that's what she's talking about.
She's an advocate for vampires, is she? Oh, that would make sense. The help we need.
Didn't she say that that one guy, he was a bit of a bastard. He was being
Tank Fadelinda.
yeah, and she got a little bit angry when she talked about him just because of the way he was treating them. But other than that, she didn't express any personal negativity towards the Orion lady.
She seemed weird about the Thrask gentleman.
Said he was. She definitely knows more than she's letting on, and my hypothesis so far is that maybe she's not directly involved in what happened, but she's made a deal with the person who has been doing something. They're doing whatever they're doing, and she's going to benefit from it, and that is my thought.
Maybe it's somebody who's out to get the vampires of the city or stopping that progress. Or maybe it's just somebody who's doing something for some kind of equality.
That is a question too. Is why how are they allowed to? I don't know. Maybe I don't know too much. Actually, DM, how do I know anything about why? About like the relationship of vampires overall, because it feels odd for like a vampire to be on the bronze accord, right, or the copper accord.
Concord.
It seems that Keena, you know that her family is sort of Sharn old money kind of thing, so she kind of got in via name and money. Or there's a chance that she may have gotten in before she was a vampire. You're not totally sure about that sort of timeline and relationship. As far as vampires as a whole, vampires are just feared because of their general power. They're powerful creatures. Whether they mean good or evil, that's undecided, but they're powerful and people rather fear and shun them as opposed to give them a chance.
The position of sentient undead in Sharn is a precarious and often nebulous one. As we found out with our case with the necromancers, necromancy itself is outlawed, and and the creation of undead is a crime, but sentient undead seem to be another matter entirely. There are those who still consider them just as much monsters as zombies and ghouls and whatnot. But I mean, they're people, as we've seen tonight. People with incredible and I mean, not dangerous powers. There's no two ways about it. But people nonetheless. And I, on some level, I guess I can understand why Keena Button cares so much about this. But it remains to be seen how much she cares about it. Enough to ally herself with an assassin? I don't know. Hey, Spike, what the hell was that thing you found?
Yeah,
I
I pull out my
pick
jacket.
up.
I'm like, no, don't. Oh, okay, I'll
Not
close
me.
the jacket back up. It looked to be a sort of like maybe some would call a lightsaber. I'm not entirely sure.
Yes.
Copyright strike.
Damn it.
Nah,
Oh shit.
Oh no.
but it seemed to be a I don't know, some sort of blade of sunlight. Wink.
Nudge.
Would I have heard of such a magical item? Such an object?
I mean, it would be plausible, you assume. I mean,
It's like some kind of lava lance.
I'll say you've encountered the spell like Shadow Blade before, so you don't see why not. And I have to toilet cat so bad now that I just heard that cat meow. So I will step away for like a minute and I'll be right back.
Thanks, Toland.
Positively Pavlovian.
Thank you, Toland. What a good boy.
Oleg, how hard would it be to create something like that? Difficult, if I'm imagining.
I don't know. I mean, I can create guns. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to create a sun blade thing.
I mean, it may be entirely unrelated.
Well, my question is, why would
Absolutely.
a vampire have it?
Maybe to keep it away from people. I don't know. Or maybe to get rid of other vampires.
Possibly.
A vampire that hunts vampires. And that's pretty interesting.
Maybe someone tried to use it to hunt her at one point and she kept it because trophy? I don't know.
Keep your friends close, and one of the few
Thing.
objects able to heal you closer.
Probably. I don't think she strikes me as somebody that is dedicated and, should things go awry, desperate enough to do whatever it takes to accomplish what she's trying to accomplish. She definitely strikes me the kind of person that really believes in what she's trying to do. I don't blame her. I don't necessarily know if she would be stupid enough to ruin that through taking actions that would essentially undermine the progress of what she's trying to accomplish. But then again, I've seen desperate people do worse things.
I think
I
this
feel
is
like
less of. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I feel like if she is involved with this, she's undermining what she's trying to accomplish. And maybe if she does happen to be involved in some way, we can talk her into talking to us with that in mind. Like we convince her that, hey, if you're involved in this, you're gonna be undermining what you're trying to do. And maybe that will give the leverage to give us something that we can work with to put an end to it. And we can use that as a bargaining chip. I don't know.
'Cause
If that is
I'm thinking that she's not like doing it. She's not paying for anybody to do these things. I just think she knows who's doing it and she's benefiting from it.
Either
Because
way,
if what she said is true, what she said to you, Very, and I think it's less of she put this in motion, is that she knew who's doing it, but because they've gotten rid of some of her adversaries on the road to vampire and undead equality, she's not going to do anything to stop that train since it started moving.
I mean, has she actually accomplished any of her goals since they've died?
She said that guy, the one that was a bastard, she said that he was in the way and now he's gone.
It's making the path a little easier, even though she hasn't finished accomplishing what she's trying to accomplish.
Which is probably why she didn't want to say anything to us.
Yeah, I
Either
don't.
way, we're
I
gonna
mean,
need some sort of leverage if we're gonna talk to her again. Probing into somebody's mind unwanted is a bit of a turn off.
I mean, yeah, it was only bad because it got caught.
don't feel as though. I mean, definitely, but
Kina Bodden is a powerful woman from a notable family. Perhaps a bit more careful. A bit more cautious.
All that is titles. Titles don't mean shit to me.
They may not mean shit to you, but they mean a hell of a lot to Sharn.
Maybe that's the problem.
Well, until you fix that, we have to work within those confines.
Like I said, just because somebody's got a nice house and a fancy name doesn't mean they're worth more than anybody else. Especially if she's hiding a murderer.
That's not what I said, but all right. Perhaps we should look into her business dealings, vampire advocacy outreach.
I would say talk to some people she's close to.
Well, we
And,
know at least one.
That's true. And maybe see if there's anybody, like you said, that's pro vampire rights. Somebody that a little more extremist that would actually pay for somebody to kill opponents of their progress.
Yes.
We'll have to do some digging then.
Let's.
Don't we
think,
always?
What did the cause gain to benefit from each of the deaths? We know Tengfei Leondar was a hard-headed man who was standing in the way of allowing their business ventures and further representation in the properties he controlled. But why Katarine Orion and why Inviga Storm?
Remind me how Orion died?
The carriage crash. Although he'd been dead before they hit the ground. Logan, remind me what we found about her cause of death. Was it like blunt force trauma?
Also, your mic is muffling again.
Mine?
Yes, you're good
Oh,
now.
okay.
What? Probably quiet.
hi Rachel.
You're muted. You muted yourself after.
Weird. So Katarine Orion's death, it was a strange one because the driver had been poisoned or knocked unconscious via poison to crash the carriage, theoretically making it look like an accident. However, apparently Katarine did not die on impact and was later, immediately after the crash, bludgeoned.
Oh, she was alive after the crash, and then she was bludgeoned. Okay, I was remembering that wrong. Okay.
I had a question. I just thought of something that I am going to think about for a second. Continue on. Sorry, I just had a thought.
Okay. Remind me, what did we find about why Invigus was in the city?
He was making some kind of deal with the Arum because he was opening up a new Dragon Shard mine, and the Arum wanted to forge a contract with him, essentially giving them the rights to claim any historical findings within as they carve out that mine. However, they called him to the city. They paid for him just to try and grease the wheels, but eventually he declined.
What if there was something in that mine?
That's what I was gonna say. Where was the mine?
Exactly.
The mine was out in the Shadow Marches, as far as you know.
Do you guys know if we have a morgue in Sharn?
I was thinking the same thing. Because
after that last nap we had, I might have something that can get us some answers.
We are on the same brainwave here, Donovan. I don't have anything for that, but I'm glad you do, because I was going to talk about finding something that could help us with that. I see where you're going with this.
Now I'm intrigued.
I do to say though, I don't think she's gonna invite us back after stealing a sword.
I don't think she knows we stole it yet.
She's probably gonna.
I mean, she wrote down our names, so.
That's true.
My God.
Oleg.
Yeah, that's me.
It's been a long time since you working on my arm.
Yeah.
You think you could
Sure.
It's gonna be like Mega Man, dude.
Without waiting for the question. Oh yeah.
Do you want it combined with the gun, or do you want it as a separate, switch it out?
I think it'd be really cool if I could all of a sudden have a light blade. I'm just kidding. It'd be cool if I could have a sun blade that'll pop out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can do that. So you want the sword and the gun?
Well, I mean, yeah. Call me a glutton, but yeah.
What I'm thinking is, the living may not have much to say to us, but if I can talk to the Orion person, she might can tell us who clocked her good,
That's a phrase, yes.
And in fact, I think Donovan as well, just the place to go to and just the people to see. In the Death's Gate Guild, the Sharn Watch garrison, you met the House Jarasco medical examiner who worked for the Sharn Watch at that place.
Great. So we can go pay them a visit and see if we can ask that dead body some questions, and maybe it'll probably just be somebody in disguise, but maybe who they disguise themselves as will give us a clue or something. Or maybe we can ask her what they found in that mine.
I was gonna say, and even then, maybe the person didn't disguise himself because they didn't think there would be a witness, considering everybody who was in that coach is dead.
Well, the guy, the carriage driver didn't die. He just passed out, so he wouldn't have seen anything anyway.
Yeah.
Well, there's a plan. That's a lead. Probably should have thought of that sooner, but
they might not know he survived that explosion.
Well, that's true. That's another lead, but I don't know how. I don't know if he would have seen anything that would make him a target, but I guess we could always check back in with him as well. What time is it?
7:30.
Let's call it a day, I think, and we'll reconvene, and then tomorrow we can go pay a visit to the morgue, maybe.
Hi.
That sounds like a plan to me.
You don't think we should go there tonight?
Yeah, it's just 7.
I'm worried that Alden may proceed with burial rites, It's at an accelerated pace, robbing us of the opportunity to speak to Katarine without a heavy dose of grave robbing, which is not
Nah,
something
I don't want to do that
I would
again.
be particularly enthused about.
I mean, for the first time.
Donovan, you're changing my outlook on reporters. I just have to tell you that.
You didn't change my outlook on reporters at all.
That's okay. You'll come around. They all do.
So, go ahead and write down that plan, those ideas before you forget.
We're gonna go to the autopsy place, morgue.
Yep, go to the morgue.
word.
We're doing that tonight. Yes.
Good point. We'll do that tonight.
As you leave Keena Button's tenement and exit out into the street of Little Barovia and Wendelin, you feel a rush of energy next to you as a fellow monk appears in the shadows right next to you in your investigator group.
Yeah.
Whoosh. You see a shifter, actually, native sort of to this district. Effectively a panther in mixture, but with little hints of like tiger in them. So it's like black with, or like dark gray with like black stripes kind of running through very like their hair.
That's awesome.
That's tight.
But after like Wendelin kind of stops and looks, you all kind of notice this figure standing there wearing sort of matching kind of black or dark like leathers and clothes, hand wrappings. And Wendelin, you recognize this monk as the shifter named Stripe.
Stripe. Oh god, that's badass.
And Stripe looks horrified when she appears right next to you. It's Wendelin. We've been searching all over for you. Something's happened in the High Walls district.
What?
Some madman, some crazy person's been going through and slaughtering the Sharn Watch in High Walls. The Sharn Watch has had to throw up the gates protecting High Walls, blocking off all the streets and bridges. No one can get in or out. No, it's just some guys running through and killing all
I
of
look at the rest of the group and I say, I gotta go.
We can probably go with you. I don't feel like this is something that we can just.
Yeah, no, all of you. Wendelin, they're praising someone called the House Killer, saying that the Dragonmark houses have to go. That whoever's doing all this is some kind of god, some kind of some prophet, someone exacting the sovereign's
that
work.
Story, god damn it!
You have to get there now.
It appears
Well,
our
the
timeline
more
has
can wait. The body will
accelerated.
still be there. They ain't getting any deader.
I mean, they could be listed.
That's true, but they can't get any deader. Let's go kick some ass.
Yeah, and I'll look at the group and be like, I'll meet you there, and I'll
meet you there.
I'll shadow step with Stripe.
Yeah. So Stripe immediately pulls you into the shadow, and all of you watch Wendelin step into the shadow like it's a damn doorway and just gone.
Are we near the carriage?
You can get there.
Okay.
Take a few minutes.
You
want to
Yes,
fly?
detour time.
I will fly.
It appears
I will
so.
take my
If,
hoverbike.
if it's dark enough, I will fly.
So, Wendelin through a shadowy doorway. Cornelius just literally takes off into the night sky and flies away. Spike hops onto his motorcycle, roars down Little Barovia alleyway into the district of High
I'm gonna
Walls.
run after Spike. Like, wait, let me get on. Let me get on.
Oh, fuck, come on.
I hop on.
Yeah.
Okay. Varian, Oleg.
Let's go, Iron Hunter.
Varian and Oleg, do you just run to the sky coach and fly away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So
It's like, you know that scene of like the Justice League cartoon show? Everybody starts flying away, but Batman's just running.
I mean, a little bit. So you all make your way to the district of High Walls, which actually, Spike. If I recall correctly, I have to check this real fast. Yeah, I believe, I'm fairly certain Lyra stops yelling at him. Yes, the Cog Carnival is a Warforged bar in Highwall. And Highwall gets its name for literally the high walls that encircle it, and also that the bridges and roads have magical gates that close it off at a moment's notice. The reason for this, and this is likely not a tasteful reason, is that Highwalls is the district that is notable for its Siren refugees, people from the nation of Sire, which was completely ravaged and destroyed by the Great Mourning. So, this district full of war refugees is likely the most restricted in Sharn. Therefore, you can extrapolate from that. So, getting into the district might be a bit of a challenge for those of you who cannot fly or spider climb, whatever else. But we'll tackle that the next time as you all make your way to the district of Highwalls, where apparently a massacre has occurred. And that's gonna be it for this time. And thank you, Abigail, for that something happens. I have been sitting on that little nugget for a few sessions now, waiting for the perfect time, and he said something happens right at the end of the session. I'm like, all right. Wha-bam! Drama!
I like it.
That's a hell of a cliffhanger, Dan.
It's hell of a cliffhanger. And especially because, this is more of a selfish thing. I know how many spell slots, important rolls, and things you guys have burnt up to this point, so I was like, you know what? It's gonna be good.
I still got a couple.
Yeah, I just don't have my vision.
I have not used that many spells.
That's good.
Thankfully,
all
we
my
had
coordinates,
Thankfully, we had that short rest in the session before this.
Yes, you did.
So I am good, except
Yeah.
I used my ability to see through walls
You did do
and
that.
my ability to fuck up people's minds. But I
love
can
it.
do other things.
I freaking love it. And, God, I prepped more for this session than I do the previous, but still, this whole interaction with Kina Button was still very much like tossing up in the air and improvising, and I didn't really know what you guys wanted to find out or what to do, so I was just like, I don't know, here she is.
So
it was a lot of fun. Lots of fun. I love it. Oh, I love it.
Good set.
Yeah.
I know it feels like we've been away for so long for some reason. Like this, it feels like the first time we've played in months, but we just played last week. I don't know.
Yeah, which is weird because
It's a long
nothing
week.
happened this past week.
Nothing at all.
Truly
It was
uneventful and
truly
blissful.
the shortest week I think I've
Yeah.
ever had. Well, on that note,
Oh boy.
we're done for the evening. However, we will now take a little 2-minute, stretch break, and then do some recording of Sharn Nights After Dark, where we will be talking about the campaign, talking about our characters, talking about the plots, talking about D&D or tabletop RPGs as a whole, all sorts of stuff. And if that interests you, subscribe to my Patreon, where you'll get access to these videos and hear our lovely voices and see our lovely faces for much longer than just this prescribed time. Yeah, beginning of the video we did a bunch of announcements, so I'm not going to do the announcements anymore. No more plugging of things. Still trying to reach those 25 subscriber points, so make sure to gift some subs or upgrade your sub to tier 3. Make sure we can unlock some more cool emotes. This week, be on the lookout on the DMs Guild, because I'll be publishing a newly revised edition of one of my previous adventures, now that I have access to an actual good layout program. And then I also have a fun adventure I'm going to be test playing here soon that involves a lich that I'm really looking forward to. So keep being on the lookout for those kinds of things. Yes, a lot of my friends are streaming now. Xylo Plays, Mr. Owls score 666, and what just happened? Who just did a thing? Thank you for following, Tyrone. I don't know how to pronounce all these. I don't want to pronounce it. I'm a little scared.
Yeah, that's okay.
Tyrone B. Thank you for following. yeah, we do this every week, and also I stream video games in the downtime. Alan? Right now I'm streaming Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, and Mass Effect 1. I'm doing an entire Mass Effect playthrough. And we stream D&D every week. And then in February I'm starting a new D&D stream because I don't know boundaries. So, gonna be doing a lot more stuff, so thank you for following and keep on the lookout for all that fun stuff. I'm doing a fun thing this Saturday with my friend Xavier, so be on the lookout for that kind of stuff on our social medias. I think that's it, so thank you guys for watching. Next week, as far as I know, barring any extreme circumstances, we will be playing some more Sharn Nights. The same Sharn time, same Sharn plays. Hit it with the outro.
Shine,
Darn,
shine,
darn,
shine,
Sharn, 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 Sharn.
shine.